Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is Matt Baker joining you from Frank Irelan Field, Clinton-Massie High School. Excited for another Friday football bonanza, hopefully, seeing the Falcons come out on top. But we wish luck to both teams. Keep everybody safe is our number one goal. As most of the time, I would hope to say always, but most of the time with me, I've got my friend E.J. Lamb. Say hi to the people, E.J.
Hey, everybody. Good night for football. It's really kind of chilly tonight, so good night for football.
Yeah, it's a brisk evening, definitely with the wind picking up here over the last hour or so. We actually did an alumni event. I had about 116 people sign up for an alumni event for the first time in a while, so glad that people were able to come out and see that, and definitely in front of the grill was the best place to be, so I'm glad I got cooking duty for that particular one. But we're up in the press box. We're ready to go. Talk to us a little bit about what you're thinking. It's going to be Batavia at a 1-5 record, I believe, against a 1-6 record against a 2-5 Clinton-Massie team.
Yeah, both teams struggling a bit this year. Batavia with the 1-6 start, and they're trying to salvage a little bit, get a little momentum for next year. Playoffs will be out of the picture probably for them. However, Massie, I read a little article today, could win these next three, especially knock off New Richmond last game of the season. Or is it next week?
Yeah, next week.
But yeah, Massie could get some momentum, end up 5-5, and let these seniors go out with a good season. So I think Massie's got the advantage, home field advantage tonight, and Batavia kind of struggling, but it's going to be a good game.
Yeah, I talked to the Batavia coach. We'll get to a lot of those comments here in just a second. So Batavia has had losses to Williamsburg 48-7, Blanchester 42-13. They did win against Claremont Northeastern. That was 35-28. They lost at National Trail 45-6, at Bethel Tate 49-7, at Wilmington 62-14. We'll visit that in just a second, and then at New Richmond 41-7. So unfortunately for the discrepancy, I think where you're going to see the most at is points allowed and points for. So 315 points allowed by Batavia, only 89 points for, where Clinton-Massie is very even, 139 points against and 138 points for. So the Batavia defense is, like you said, trying to still gather their feet underneath them, and the Clinton-Massie offense has an opportunity to possibly put some points out where most are averaging 40 against them.
Yeah, and you're going to see that tonight. I think you're going to see, of course, the ground attack. Massie has sprinkled in a couple passing touchdowns the past few games, but you're going to see the ground attack of Massie against Batavia. Batavia's got a great quarterback, and if you look at the statistics, they're throwing almost 30 times a game, about 29 times a game. So they got a young man by the name of Jess Roller, junior quarterback, tall, good arm. You're going to see him come out and test that Massie defense, and that Massie passing defense. As last week we faced a juggernaut of Western Brown and one of the top passers in the nation. And so they've got their work cut out, but I think they're well prepared after last week.
Yeah, Clinton-Massie is coming in after a loss to Western Brown. Some of the other teams that they've lost to. They did lose to Waynesville, first game of the year, 14-7, to a very tough and playoff-bound Edgewood team, 27-20. Fenwick, 17-7. Columbus DeSales, 14-3. They did get wins against Harrison and Goshen, and then losing last week to, as you said, the number 3 rated quarterback as far as yardage in the country, not just in this area, but in the country. Leading the SBAC, obviously, but Drew Novak had 7 touchdowns. He ran for 3 and he threw for 4. I mean, what more could you ask a quarterback to do?
What do you do? I mean, the kid's amazing. It's what's baffling is the young man's not getting a ton of offers, even MAC schools, but he's got all the tools. He's got an arm. He's tall. He's going to surprise some people at the next level. Go ahead.
You're starting to see a little bit of offering being sprinkled in, as we welcome Corey Price, our cameraman, to his station.
Welcome to the booth.
Yes, absolutely. So Clinton-Massie, as you said, their usual ground attack, and some of the stats for Clinton-Massie, you can see that Logan Chesser is leading.
Yeah, good game last week, too, for Logan.
Yeah, with 7 games and 96 attempts, he has 632 yards, averaging 6.6 per, and last week had a breakout run there off to the right-hand side that he just honestly left everybody in the dust. It was pretty impressive to see. Brody Clutter kind of behind him at 574 in yardage after 102 attempts. He's your fullback, and I talked to the coaches this week, and obviously like every other week, you establish the fullback first and the rest of the offense runs through it. So Keegan Lamb and Gabe McDowell follow them up with about 220, 230 yards apiece. You've seen Gavin Hunter, Nolan Phipps in there as well, and then you'll see some younger guys if they get the opportunity later on this game.
It's a run by committee usually, but then by the end of the season, we're in week number 8. By the end of the season, somebody steps up, and you kind of figure out who that guy is, who's your go-to guy. Logan Chesser the past few weeks, 161 yards about 3 weeks ago. My last game I remember calling. And then over 100 yards last week. It looks like, hey, if I need a big play, it's 3rd and 4.
Yeah.
I'm going to use his speed. And a couple issues beginning of the year was fumbling just a bit, but he's cleaned that up. And I think you're going to see Logan have another game, breakout game tonight.
Yeah, and I know he's kind of beating himself up from last week's fumble that kind of flipped the game there late. But I think at that point, I think the game had started to move towards the Western Brown way. But he's hit pay dirt 3 times. Brody Clutter has hit it 8 times, and then Keegan Lamb has had 3 touchdowns himself. Keegan Lamb also leads the passing. He has 24 attempts. He has 8 completions. He does have 2 interceptions against the 2 touchdowns for a long of 63. So he's averaging only about 25 yards a game, and that's all really that they need.
Yeah, it's Clinton-Massie, and traditionally it is a run, pound the ball offense, and that's what they do. And really, you set up the pass almost like a trick play. Every now and then you'll get a tight end, and you'll get somebody open down the middle, and that's nice to have that when you need it. But everybody knows this game is going to run through the running backs and the running attack here at Clinton-Massie.
And Clinton-Massie brings to their defense Gavin Hunter is their leading tackler. The total is 59 total tackles. On the other side, Batavia has Keith Bell. Keith Bell's a gentleman I'm excited to see.
Yeah.
Coach had talked about him quite a bit when we had the opportunity to meet earlier this week. I do appreciate Coach Stacy being willing to meet with us, and we'll talk a little bit about some of the thoughts he had. And you had already mentioned it. His first thought, and I said, hey, just tell me about your team. If you were to give me a 30-second synopsis of your season, what would you say? And he said, we're young. Mm-hmm. We're young. So, that's something that Massie is feeling as well. And, at certain parts, he said he starts 3 freshmen. I said, well, you know what, Coach, that's going to make a lot of sense against us because we also start 3 freshmen and a half for the last couple games. So, they'll kind of be young for a while, as well as Clinton-Massie has certain positions that they'll be young. But, this gentleman, Coach Stacy, he comes after a couple years of head coaching over at Fayetteville Perry. They were actually able to make the playoffs one year, and then they had the COVID year as well. Had a couple all-state players, in fact, the first 2 in school history, because football is relatively new over there for them. This is his first year as head coach for Batavia. He brings a 16-14 record, and again, that playoff berth. So after saying, what is it that you're looking to do against Massie, he said his number one thing he needs to fix, no matter if it's this week, next week, or the week after, is consistency.
Yeah, and that's it. He's building a program. Mm-hmm. This is year 1, and he's building for this year and the future. And so he's playing some young men out there, giving them the ability to play. But you want to be consistent. I mean, you see that on any level, whether it's professional, college, high school. Massie, that's what marks them, is consistent. You know who they are. Usually, with the exception of this year a little bit, they've had a few turnovers and penalties, but they're consistent. They play clean ball, and that's what you want to establish as a new coach. We play clean ball. We don't have penalties. We either establish a rush. In this case, he likes to throw the ball, but form an identity. So he's building this program. It won't be 1-8 or whatever, 1-6 here in a couple years. He's going to get this thing rolling and, kind of implement his idea and vision to this team.
And I asked him, what is it going to be that makes the difference? So where you're at now, where you want to be. And he said it's a commitment to the weight room. And how many times have I shared that with you, that every coach I seem to talk to says one of 2 things about Clinton-Massie, and that is that they're very strong, they're very tough, they're very physical, and they have a commitment to the weight room that many other schools just simply don't have yet.
So here it is. High school student, 15, 16 years, 17 years old. It's summertime or it's late spring, and you're going to do one of 2 things. You're going to be home in your basement playing your Xbox, or you're going to get like the Massie program is established. You're going to get to the weight room, or you're going to get to the factory in Wilmington, and you're going to meet your buddies, and you're going to pump each other up, and you're going to set goals, and you're going to be bench pressing 250 pounds or 300 pounds if that's your goal for some of these kids. That's what you do, and that's what you've got to establish here. It is made in the off season. So get off the Xbox, high school players. Get in the weight room and do something in the off season, even when you're not motivated. It's April, but get out there, work out, because that's what's going to pay the dividends when you hit regular season. And that's my motivational talk.
I was going to say, I'm ready to go hit the weight room right now if that's what you're asking me to do. So, no, I would agree. And the coaches that we've talked to through the year said that Clinton-Massie clearly has shown that priority to the weight room. room as they have for many, many years now. And as you said, we send a shout out to our friends at Strength Lab for doing a great job helping us along that road. And then Coach McSurley, Steve Graves, who was actually joined us last week in order to help. I'm sorry, 2 weeks ago in order to help us out. He has a weight room class, and Coach McSurley has an advanced weight room class. So there's a commitment in the school, there's a commitment in the off season, and those things put together obviously get a very strong team that even at times where maybe athletically you may be not as gifted as the other team, strength will help you, and also the system. And I mentioned this to the coach, and I said, sometimes we've taken on very, very athletic teams, although we're athletic at times, teams that probably have more athleticism, but we beat them with our system. And he said, absolutely, there's a commitment to that wishbone, there's a commitment all the way down to third grade. And he said, think about it, we haven't been running this spread offense, especially not at the younger levels, so everybody's learning it new at this point.
Yeah. And they'll get it, and they'll learn it, and they'll have this thing down here in a couple years and be ready to go. But, discipline's always greater. I think it's great. The motivation's great. But if you can be disciplined all year long, that's a great attribute.
And we're going to get ready for kickoff as Batavia kicks it to Clinton-Massie. Looks like the reception, it goes at about the 10-yard line. He's going to be brought down at the 22. That's Brady Russell that's returning a kick, and that's new for us. Brady Russell in the back. He usually is an up back, but receives that kickoff and brings it back about 12 yards before tackled by Batavia.
And how bad does Massey want to finish the season 5-5? You don't want to say we had our first losing record in how many years.
Absolutely.
I mean, it's kind of a big deal, playoffs or no playoffs. You want to end this season on a win streak for next year. They're young, just like Batavia, and you want to come out here and make a statement tonight.
Batavia setting up. It looks like they'll have a 5-man front. Looks like a 53 defense. That's 8 in the box. It's going to go to Gabe McDowell. Gabe McDowell goes outside of the numbers on this one, and it looks like staying in bounds as the clock runs. Starting this game off with a run from Gabe McDowell, nets about 7 yards.
Yeah, nice little bounce out there to get the edge and gain 7 yards. Big play, Gabe. I like him.
Saint Cartier is a name we're probably going to call quite a bit as senior at 6'3", 195. Defensive end, kind of a do-everything for the defense there. Again, with Bell, that's their middle linebacker, kind of the field general that we know each defense needs to have. So single receiver to the left, double slot look. The fullback behind is Brody Clutter. The ball goes to Clutter. He spins around. He's going to land, it looks like, with first down yardage by about a yard, so that's going to be another set of downs for Clinton-Massie. And if you're Clinton-Massie, what do you want to do on this first drive?
Exactly how they've started. There's 2 runs for a first down. You move the chains, you keep the clock running, and you just beat down the defense. That's your goal. And so far, after the first couple carries, it is working.
And we had mentioned Keith Bell. We'll probably mention his name quite a bit. Coach said he is getting some D3 looks. He's had multiple visits, so we wish him luck at taking that to the next level. Clinton-Massie goes into motion. The pitch goes outside to Gavin Hunter. Gavin cuts it up off to the 40-yard line to the 50.
Good run, Gavin.
Nice run by Hunter. He's going to go all the way out to the 50-yard line. That's the senior running back that also plays middle linebacker and leads the team in tackles.
Yeah, you might call him Gavin the Bulldog Hunter tonight after that run.
It'd be interesting to see, with the fumble last week, how much Chester gets time in the backfield. Right now it looks like we'll have Brighton Rodman at your tight end position coming into the game. Clinton-Massie has, number 19, and that is a number we're going to bring to you here in just a second. Single receiver to the right. Gabe McDowell switches hands. He goes outside of that. Nice block by, I believe that's Jack Elkin.
Jack Elkins, number 19.
So he's playing receiver tonight, which is a new look for him. So a nice block on that play, actually.
Yeah, very nice. And another bounce outside and get the first down. And right now our running attack is looking phenomenal and moving the change. And I believe they're feeling their Wheaties tonight, and they're feeling the confidence of being at home.
On one of those last tackles, Blake Martin, a senior, 5'7", 175-pound linebacker in for Batavia. Double slot, single receiver to the left. Motion again goes Gavin Hunter. The ball goes to Brody Clutter. He's open into a good 8-yard run there on first down. So with just 2 yards for another set of downs, Clinton-Massie's rolling.
Yeah, they're rolling, and they got that fullback rolling. Nice gain of about 7 yards there, and that's what you want. If you're Massey, earlier in the season they were getting stopped after a yard or two, setting up second and long, third and long. you like these 2nd and 3s. This is how you like to call your game.
We talked about staying on schedule. We've talked about it numerous times. Keegan Lamb with the snap, this time to Hunter. He makes a move outside. He's shifty. 2 people miss, 3 people miss. Now he's finally brought down by 2 Batavia tacklers. So it seems like, I like the term feeling his Wheaties just a little bit, and it feels like he's very, very strong. And I've said this numerous times on the broadcast. It might sound repetitive. Gavin Hunter deserves these carries.
Yeah.
Because he's put the work in. He's put the time in. He is a guy that is never complaining. He's always going to be there to lift weights. He's going to be one of the first guys there and the last ones to leave. So nice job, Gavin, especially on those first couple runs.
Between him and Big Play Gabe, that they're just feeding them boys, and they are taking them downfield, and gets about 3 or 4 there. But Gavin is gritty. He's gritty.
Yes, good term.
And he just you're usually not going to get him with the first hit. He's going to keep the wheels rolling and the motor churning, and you're going to have to take 2 or 3 guys to bring him down.
Low center of gravity, big shoulders. He brings a lot to the table, definitely on the defensive side, and tonight already feeling on the outside. So we have Brady Russell to the right. The motion is Gabe McDowell. The option, Keegan Lamb keeps it. He sheds one tackler, and then he's brought down at the 7-yard line, 8-yard line. So another first down run by Clinton-Massie, and they're well within striking territory of the end zone.
Yeah, this drive brought to you by classic, traditional Clinton-Massie football.
Number 35.
And that's exactly what it is.
Nolan Phipps, the freshman, checks into the game. They'll go into it's going to be a split back set with, like we said, Nolan Phipps, the sniffer back, right underneath in the Rhino set.
Nice
Brody
run.
Clutter off the right-hand side is going to be brought down right before he hits pay dirt, though, at the 1-yard line. So it's going to be 2nd and goal from the 1.
Yeah, nice run there. Mixed a little clutter in there, and looks like it's going to give us about a yard or 2 yards to go.
And on that tackle was Elliott Thompson, a sophomore, 5'10", 195-pound linebacker. The snap from Lamb, easily walking in, is Gabe McDowell.
Textbook.
So Gabe McDowell with the touchdown. Yeah, so
Textbook.
Even though it wasn't a long drive with 7:51 left on the clock, Clinton-Massie goes, we'll say, about 68, 78 yards.
Oh, yeah. They were within, I think, the 20. And that is, I don't think one run over 10 yards. So that's just 5, 6, 7 yards a carry. But you can't stop that. When they're playing their game, you can't stop it.
We call it death by 1,000 cuts, and that's what we've gotten so far. So the snap goes back. The kick by McGinnis is up and through right the middle of the upright. So with a 7-0 lead, Clinton-Massie will bring on their kickoff team. So if you're Clinton-Massie, I asked the coaches, what are you seeing? What do you want to see for this game? And it is just a little note. I want to make a note here, and I'm very proud of this young man. So Braden Roth is at his graduation from boot camp tonight. So Scott Roth, out of 25-plus years coaching, is going to miss his first game ever this evening. So congrats to Braden Roth. Congrats to Coach Roth and his family that are down there supporting their son, which is what we want to do, what we love to hear. We also love that he's in the military and supporting a military person there. But we have Jordan Phipps calling the defense tonight. So Jordan Phipps, maybe a name that you're going to hear in a coordinator role later on in the traditions here at Clinton-Massie. So he's on the field this time with another coach up here in the box, which is not where he's used to be. It's a lot warmer in the box than it is on the field. So he's going to have to get used to that quick.
And hats off to Coach Roth. You know, as they say, there'll be many, many more football games. There'll be only one time your son graduates from boot camp.
Absolutely.
Well done.
So McGinnis from the 40, he's going to be on the left hash, sets his hand, drops it. He's going to bring the leg through, and the kick is up. It's a little bit lower this time. The ball bounces. Number 21 for Batavia picks it up. He's able to move in and out of a few tacklers. That's Austin Shepard, and you're going to hear that name again quite a bit. That's actually the first name that was given as a receiver backup by the coach. So we'll call Shepard's name. He's that Swiss Army knife, basically. He's the guy that does everything that you could possibly ask him to do, depending on what side of the ball he's on.
Right, Austin Shepard, just keeping the flock wherever you need him. That Shepard's going to keep that flock tonight with him. So.
Hopefully he doesn't bring his rod on the field with him, you know what I mean? So, yeah, so we've got Batavia. We'll see their offense. As you said, Jess Roller is going to bring his offense up to the line. He's going to go 5 wide. That means nobody's in the backfield. 3 receivers to his left, 2 receivers to his right. And I think Massey's going to smell blood there, and the catch goes, and it's bobbled.
Actually, no catch.
Yeah, no catch. On the ground goes number 4. That is Ryan Decker, one of the starting wide receivers. So let's talk a little bit of starting offense for the Batavia Bulldogs. So you're going to hear that name. You're going to hear McCarthy, Ryan Decker, Hamilton, and Gibson as your receivers. Bell will be a running back along with Shepard. Roller, as we mentioned, is your quarterback. And after this play, we'll get our linemen. So the snap. Oh, able to draw Clinton-Massie offside is Roller. So we'll finish out those. Lineman Charlie Belcher is going to be number 75, your left tackle. Then you have Jaden Williams at left guard. You have A.J. Graves. And I do want to mention the coach kind of called him out just a little bit and said, hey, he's a freshman. Number 59 center, he's a freshman and going to be a good one. Said just has a lot of potential.
Yeah, if you're playing up like that, man, got some size to him as well.
A.J. Kelch is your right guard, and Colin Moeller is your right tackle. So that's your starting lineup for the Batavia Bulldogs. Roller looks over to his sideline. He's going to set the protection. Looks like he might be changing the play here off of his wristband. So back in the backfield is that one running back. Roller steps back, gets the shotgun snap. He gets pressure on him immediately, and he's going to take off and run. He's going to get over to the sideline, stiff arms with about a 6-yard gain.
Yeah, he's done that before. Looks downfield, nothing there. Maybe that was drawn up purposefully on that carry, but this guy leads him in rushing, leads him in passing. You're going to hear Jess Roller a lot, the 6'5" junior, and he definitely has the prototypical build of a quarterback in a spread offense, but he's got enough wheels to get it done, to pick up some first down. So if you're the Clinton-Massie defense, you want to keep a spy on him. Make sure he doesn't get out and run for 10, 15 yards.
Yeah, you allow him maybe to get a little more in the air. You don't want him letting him run like they unfortunately saw Novak doing a little bit last week. And I think some of that was design run, and some of that was he just decided to take the opening.
Yeah, you do that when you're a versatile quarterback.
3 receivers to the left, a single receiver to the right. Roller goes back. Feeling that pressure again. He's going to take off. He finds an opening. I will say this, something I've noticed on 2 runs, he does carry that ball out away from his body quite a bit, which may cause some problems later on in the game for him if we get some Falcons start to swipe at it.
You know, you looked at the stats, and I've seen he was the #1 rusher, and, of course, they throw the ball a lot, and you see it on that drive. Runs, tucks it, and runs. Be nice to see him get these other players involved in this game tonight. 4th and 1, big decision here for the Bulldogs. Looks like they're staying on the field.
So they're thinking if it's 4th and 1 and we're this far, we're going to give it a shot at this point. They also know Clinton-Massie is going to be able to score some points. So Roller brings his offense back up.
Maybe try to draw him.
Yeah, possibly try to draw him offside, maybe a quick kick. As you said, he is the #1 passer for them with over 1,001 yards so far with 71 completions, 125 attempts for a 56.8 average.
Went for it. Oh, wow.
Oh, nice and the catch. The back shoulder throw and the catch. That's Decker, I believe.
Yeah, Ryan Decker.
That's a nice throw. So Miles Thiegy, yeah, he was step-by-step with him, but they just put the brakes on all of a sudden, turned back inside over his inside shoulder. The ball was right there waiting for him. That's a nice play.
Yeah, not an easy catch to turn around, come back on that, and as soon as you turn around, the ball's right there. So nice play by Decker to keep the chains rolling, and the gambling paid off for the Bulldogs coach.
16-yard gain on that is going to bring it to the 49 of Clinton-Massie on the left hash. They're going to be empty set again, which means 3 receivers to the right, 2 receivers to the left. The line goes back into their kick steps. The snap, the throw, the catch by Batavia is going to be to Gibson. That's Cy Gibson, #2.
You know, isn't it interesting to see offenses traditionally just keep moving more and more to this spread? Massie just stays with the wishbone. But, man, it's starting to change here in high school football.
Absolutely. So Roller gets his offense set. Again, calling numbers from the sideline. He sets his protection. 3 receivers to the left, a single receiver to the right. He moves his running back over to the left. This time he's going to call a timeout just to give a little extra thought. And while we're at that timeout, we want to thank our sponsors, Clinton-Massie and Campus Nation. Appreciate Sam's Meats. Stop by Sam's Meats in Wilmington to support a locally owned and operated business. You'll find fresh chicken, pork, and beef. Dine in or carry out and enjoy homemade hot bar meals and grill items. Sam's Meats also offers catering, party trays, and homemade desserts. Open Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 6:30 p.m. and 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. on Saturday. They are also hiring. Apply for a full or part-time position application. And, of course, when you're there filling out your application, you ought to get about 5 pounds of Sam's Meats bacon.
Oh, yeah, get some. Have you a BLT if there's any tomatoes left in that garden.
Campus Nation fans, Campus Nation excited to bring you the coverage of both the reigning state high school football champions and the reigning National Collegiate Club football champions, The Ohio State University, which we will actually be calling that game tomorrow at Wright State. And as we get the Batavia Bulldogs back in the field, we'll pause for just a moment. We'll finish that up. So Jesse Roller brings his offense back to the field. This time they're putting all 3 receivers to the boundary side, a single receiver to the left. It looks like they're going to try to run the ball, and they do
nice
to Bell.
There.
And as we finish this up this Saturday, October 8th, 2022, join us at Mulholland Field or watch live on Campus Nation as the Buckeyes travel to Wright State to take on the Raiders. Our stream of the Ohio State University Club football at Wright State match begins at 11:45 a.m. You will not want to miss this one.
Does Michigan have club football?
I would believe they do, yes.
If Ohio State was playing Michigan in club football, Matt, who would you root for?
Oh, definitely the maize and blue. You know it. So 2x2 is the setup here. We're going to have a single running back behind the line of scrimmage, and that's Roller as he sets his offensive line's protection. The snap goes to Roller. He feeds Bell. Bell goes
nice
down
defense.
after a quick maybe actually just barely back to the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, Rodman.
So Rodman on the tackle there. And we've called Brighton Rodman's name all season, but especially in the last 5 weeks, he has just really taken his game to another level.
Yeah. So I think was Updike on that. And previous tackle, nice stop by Brody Green there to make the play there. So
I saw his brother is in attendance tonight. Braxton has joined us, as well as Colton Trampler.
Are they here? Do they have a game tomorrow?
They're by. So the next, 2 out of our 3 alumni that are up to Taylor University have joined us as well. So we appreciate them coming back. It is homecoming night, so we've had a
home.
That's right. We've had a fun week. A lot of festivities. Aaron Seward, our high school principal, done a great job. Pep rally today. A lot of excitement throughout the week and different games and spirit activities. Roller fakes the play. It's an RPO and a nice catch by Cy Gibson for the first down. The inside slot receiver immediately got position.
So you see Cy Gibson, Ryan Decker, they had their number 1 receivers. We alluded before we came on the broadcast. He's out. And so he's working in some other guys, and they're stepping up and keeping the chains moving here.
Yeah, EJ is mentioning Melman. Melman is actually in the top 5 for the league in
on
yards.
Pace.
Number 2, and you said on pace.
For a 1,000-yard season.
Yeah, but unfortunately he is out with an
injury.
Hate it
for him,
yeah, we want everybody to stay safe. That's our number 1 goal for both teams. And right now Batavia moving the ball, kind of, I'm sure, against the will of Clinton-Massie this time. The snap, the throw, easy pitch and catch to Decker. He gets down to the 26-yard line, and after fighting for another yard, he's going to give the ball up to the referee, and they're going to have 2nd and 3, or actually 2nd and 1.
Jess Roller rolling this offense down, got him to the 32-yard line, and the Bulldogs. You see a lot of potential here. This young man is a junior, so he's going to be back. There's a lot of potential in this Bulldog team for next year and, to finish out this year. And impressive, nice little drive to put together. That's how you want to start, but you want to finish. You want to get in that end zone.
You know what's funny is maybe they're thinking what Massie is always thinking, and that is if we control the clock, if we control time of possession, we'll keep Massie's offense off the field and maybe try to keep this game close. So Roller runs the option to the right. He's going to – the ball's fumbled. It looks like it's going to be jumped on by – we'll get a call here in just a second. Yeah, the pile-up is going to show –
looks like
as we all wait with bated breath here.
I don't see them pointing, so yeah.
Yeah, it's going to stay with Batavia.
It's a good bounce for them.
Oh, one ref is suggesting. Yeah, so they're going to keep it with Batavia. So that was an option to the right. The pitch went to.
Yeah, good timing on the pitch, but just missed it there.
Hit the hands there, and we don't have a number of who is in the backfield. That might have been Shepard. That might have been 21 in there. It looks like Austin Shepard was in the game there. So ball bounces off of his hands, kind of back into the hands of another Bulldog, and that's going to be a first down off of the fumble. And the clock will run here with 2:33 left, and it's 7-0 if you're just joining us. We appreciate you joining us this Friday night at Frank Irelan Field, Clinton-Massie High School, for this this competition against the Bulldogs and the Falcons.
And even if it's a spread offense, you think a lot of downfield passing, but even they can dink and doink screen passes, bubble screens, and sometimes just 5-6 yards, and they can keep the clock rolling.
Absolutely. So out of bounds goes number 7 for the Batavia Bulldogs.
Marcus Eubanks.
That's Eubanks, another name that's kind of the Swiss Army. He can play all of the receiver positions, whether inside slot Z or X. So he could be outside, he could be inside. In that particular play, he ran an out to the boundary side there, got the catch at about 4 yards, and then went out of bounds.
Man, I'm impressed with his arm. He's getting a lot of receivers involved, and he's pretty accurate. And so I'm impressed with the young man.
We talked with the coach, and he said, what we like to do is we like to run the ball when we can, but that short passing game is absolutely the next thing up if they can't establish the run. Roller outside. This time he makes, it looked like he was going to make one Falcon miss, but they were able to bring him down.
You're right. He's scary. He come out here with that ball out there. It's got that might come back to bite you, son.
That was Updike that brought him down. Was looking to pass Updike with a stiff arm, but Brandon said, nah, not today. We're going to bring you on down here. So matching size for size is Brandon Updike against Jess Roller.
He could be one of them quarterbacks that knows, hey, has that exact moment I tuck it, but we'll see.
Kind of a Lamar Jackson, or I'll go back for our old school people. How about Randall Cunningham?
Oh, yeah.
How about some Randall Cunningham there? Yes.
You remember Randall Cunningham? You remember him? Oh, yeah, you know Randall.
3 to the left, 1 to the right. Receivers all over the place for Batavia Bulldogs. This time they're switching the running back to the left-hand side. The protection will go that way as well. See if Massie can get some pressure. Massie is going to get the benefit of a delay of game by the Batavia Bulldogs, so the back judge throws the flag. It's going to be a delay of game, and we're going to be reset here 5 yards deeper.
Yeah. You see this team moving the ball down the field, and I tell you what, I'm impressed. It's 37 seconds, and we've only had not even 2 total drives. Massie runs some clock, then Batavia gets it, and they're going to run the clock probably down to the second quarter.
And you can see what is the number 2 thing he said that they do well.
Easy passes, and that's big. In this offense, that's big to pick up first downs, to move the chains. You got to do those little slants and screens that are easy and high percentage plays.
Because so many young kids have to play, he said his freshmen are playing the JV schedule as well and doing a great job. So he's looking forward to not only what this team can do, but what his future is holding as well. So we appreciate Coach Stacy spending some time with us this week. Very cordial gentleman. So we appreciate his time and the information he shared with us. This time we're going to see 3 receivers.
They're going to go down
to the left.
End of the clock here, I think.
Yeah, they're going to eat this for the end of the first quarter. And like you said, you had a possession by Clinton-Massie and still in the possession by Batavia. So if you're Batavia, you're thrilled that you took up that much time.
You are.
And as we go to our sponsors, we want to give them their time that they deserve. So we appreciate our friends at Trampler Brothers Paving. Trampler Brothers Paving is a family-owned and operated full-service company specializing in commercial, industrial, and residential asphalt paving, seal coating, and excavation, developing trusting relationships with our customers through exceptional work, customer service, and integrity, proudly serving Clinton, Warren, Butler, and Hamilton County since 1935. Contact us free for a quote at 513-777-6747. Again, 513-777-6747. They've been in business since 1935. That's about the amount of kids that the Tramplers have. 1935, I think.
Massie, thanks you, Trampler family. Right now, McSorley getting really wanting the refs here. They're I got some questions about some things out there.
Upset about something, and
yes,
it looks like the ref is
giving it back.
Yeah, it does look like he's having a conversation back with him. So we also like to thank our friends at Destination Outlets, the second annual World Pumpkin Pie.
Oh, this is good. I was looking forward to this one here.
At Destination Outlets, will competitive eater Joey Chestnut take home the title again in 2022? Find out this Sunday, October 9th at noon. And here goes Batavia setting up after the long drive they've already established.
Yeah, third and long here.
This time the snap goes, the long pass out of bounds. Brady Russell gets the pick. He's going to run it back for about 13, 15, now 20 yards. So at the last second, he snaps that ball out of the air, bringing it down at about the 7-yard line. And that's, I believe, his at least third interception.
Yeah, Brady Russell with some football muscle right there. And goes up and gets that pick, takes it back, and you hate to end it for Batavia. You hate to end it that way. I mean, that's a long drive, and then you have that, and so he'd like to have that one back.
But EJ, you said it has to end in points, though. It has to end in points. When you take that time, it's well and good, but you got to end it in points. And unfortunately for Batavia, that's going to be a turnover. And another thing about Jess Roller. So leading the team in rushing, leading the team in passing. Also has 7 interception, now make it 8. So he does have a little bit of an issue turning the ball over, and I'm sure that's something the coaches are working with him to correct as soon as possible. So the snap and the pitch goes to Gabe McDowell. Outside goes Gabe McDowell. He's got 10, 15, now 20 yards. So that's a first down run on first down. Gabe McDowell getting down to the 45-yard line, just following his blockers off the right-hand side there.
Yeah, I like that. Gabe's showing some speed there to the end, to the edge. To get that edge is not always easy, and he got it and some.
I want you to look at something for me, and something I've noticed the last 2 offensive plays, the touchdown and then this one. Their defensive ends are inside of the tackles or the slot men. That's going to make it kind of easy to get outside if that's what they want to do.
If they can hold their block at all, right.
Yeah, just a little interesting alignment formation there. And
nice
the first down run by Brody. No, that's Keegan Lamb that keeps it. He's the second man through, and he's going to get a 9-yard run on first down. So, again, if you can get the block on that defensive end, you're off to the races because at that point you just have a corner and a safety.
That's it. And Gabe's taking advantage of that tonight. Gabe's having a good game.
Yeah, so double slot is the look. The single running back behind Lamb is Brody Clutter. He's going to get the ball this time. There's an opening quickly for a first down run, but then he's going to be brought down at the 42-yard line. So just like you said, you got to see Clinton-Massie go through the fullback first, and the fullback is eating already tonight.
Yeah, you may go around the end a time or two, but it won't be long till you see it up the middle. You know we're doing it. We know we're doing it. So let's not kid anybody. We're going up the middle. And there's the run for the first down.
We appreciate an update on the score. 6-0 New Richmond over Wilmington at this point. The toss goes to, is that Chesser? Yeah, he makes a one-man miss. Slick
Hunter,
run there. No, is that Hunter? I'm sorry, that is Hunter. 6 and an 8 looked awful like because he was moving so fast.
Yeah, it does. A nice run by Gavin. Chesser's not seeing it. The old fumble may say Logan, not tonight. But right now, Massey's moving at will with 5, 6, 7 yards a chunk. Nice drive.
After the interception by Brady Russell, this is turned around. Another 50 yards have been added to the totals for Clinton-Massie. Goes in motion, does Gabe McDowell. The ball is faked to Brody Clutter. Then Keegan Lamb keeps pumping his leg. I believe he's going to be brought along the ride with Tyler Tolson. Sorry, we had that corrected. Tolson.
And you see a really good push out of the offensive line, and they were pushing all the way the whole time. Nice push. A nice run there.
Elkins back in the game. He's going to go far right, single receiver. The wishbone set up to Gabe McDowell. The handoff, and off the right-hand side, it's a good, solid 6-yard run there to start this new set of downs.
Yeah, this just looks tonight, the first 2 drives look like textbook Clinton-Massie football. Moving the ball, moving the chains. Offensive line getting a real good push.
For those of you that want to send a shout-out, we'll get to those a little later on. 937-303-8069. 937-303-8069. And I will say, as we get this next play off, it is a wishbone setup. This time a toss goes to Gavin Hunter, looking very fast this evening. He goes out of bounds at the 12-yard line. It's going to be a special question of the game, a heart-warming question of the game.
I'm excited to hear. We haven't talked about this, so I'm excited to hear it like you all are.
We've got something. I've got a story to tell. It's something that hopefully our audience will get behind and support by sending us some positive messages. We'll share that story here in a little while, and we'll bring that to your attention. If you want to send a shout-out, 937-303-8069. Again, 937-303-8069. Tell us where you're listening from, where you're watching at. Maybe you're just I actually had somebody share with me that they were listening to us in the Combine the other day. So they were just listening to one of the games in the Combine.
It's harvest time.
Yeah, it is harvest time, so that's awesome. That's great. We appreciate it. Wherever you're listening or watching from, whether it's across the world or across this country, we appreciate you checking in. So Gabe McDowell off the right-hand side. He makes one person miss and then goes down to a tackler there. That's going to be for Batavia, number 28. We're going to try to get you numbers as quick as we can here.
Vontae Callaway.
There it is, Vontae Callaway, a freshman. Again, a young team does Batavia
they're young.
have. Yeah,
they're okay. They're going to be fine. Vontae Callaway. Well, that's got a nice ring to it.
It does. It
like
rolls off the tongue, yeah. So the Rhino set brings a touchdown.
Peanut Clutter and Jelly.
By Peanut Clutter and Jelly. I like it. Nice job. So Brody Clutter goes in for his team-leading 9th touchdown for the year. As we set up there to the left, we'll get McGinnis out there. And you saw the turnover. You see Clinton-Massie just
Points
go
off
right.
turnover.
That's right, just going right back into what they do. And if you're Batavia, that air just got pulled
yeah,
out
so
of the
instead of being
balloon
7-7, it's 14-0. Those hurt you.
McGinnis, the kick, it's up. Near the top of the field goal post, there goes that extra point. So we're going to have another extra point by McGinnis, and a 14-0 score is what we have here at Frank Irelan Field. Joining us, we appreciate you as always, either going to our Campus Nation Facebook page or the Campus Nation YouTube channel. We appreciate you checking in. We also appreciate our friends at Campus Nation. As always, Team Campus Nation, thanks you for tuning in. Stay up to date with all your broadcasts, both upcoming and archived. Make sure to like the Campus Nation Facebook page, follow us on Instagram, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. And how about WZAA, where you can find all your hits? Come and see us this week at the new WZAA 106.9 at Destination Outlet Studios, where our crew broadcasts talk shows, prepares music streams, creates commercials, and many, many more things. We look forward to seeing you there. So as Batavia sets up in their return, they'll have a single returner deep. That looks like number 7, and that's going to be Eubanks. So Eubanks is going to be set to receive this kickoff from McGinnis.
Nice kick. Real nice kick.
It's going to be at the 2. Eubanks gets it up the right-hand hash. He slows down, nice, and a tackle. Flock of Falcons bring him all the way back to the 15-yard line. So a nice gang tackle there, led by, it looked like, Green, I believe.
Green's a playmaker, isn't he? He's a playmaker.
He's
nice
always around the ball.
Yes.
That's what you notice. He's just always around the ball.
Just like his big brother.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And Brody has 19 total tackles on just defense. So, he's bringing as much as he can for the defensive line. Kind of a smaller, quicker guy. He's got Elijah Grow next to him, a little bit more size. So you got a little bit of, thunder and lightning there in the D-line middle.
Yeah. Defense wants to settle in here. They don't want to give up that long drive again. So the defense wants to settle in on this drive and make some stops. But Batavia needs to answer. They need a quick strike here tonight.
Before it gets out of hand, and
right.
It's 14-0 right here. And
around
the end around goes to Shepard, who finds an opening, and he's going to go out of bounds after the tackle made by Gabe McDowell.
Yeah, Gabe making plays on both sides of the field tonight, comes over, makes a play on Shepard, but not before he gets the first down and moves the chains.
And you saw the offense sputtering a little bit without McDowell. Now, that might have been it was young in the season. He was injured. The offensive line was growing to know each other. But ever since Gabe got back, it seems like the gel has happened a little bit better on the offensive side. So he's helping out on defense now as well. 3 receivers to the left, single receiver to the right, has 1 running back to his right. That's Roller. He's looking over to his coaches asking for a coverage or a protection call. He gives it to his line based on his wristband, also tells his running back what to do. The snap goes to Roller. He sets up off to the right. A lot of pressure by Brighton Rodman. He's actually going to be brought down out of bounds. Goes down a little oddly there, and that's going to be by Nolan Phipps. It looks like
he's so tall.
Yeah,
it took him a while to get down.
Lost his feet underneath him and kind of went backwards across the out-of-bounds line. That was Nolan Phipps, the freshman, actually making the tackle outside of the box there.
Yeah, by week 8, these freshmen are stepping up, and they're getting experience, and they kind of feel like they belong. I think the first couple weeks you're like, oh, I'm a freshman, and just trying to fit in and learn the plays. But here they are, and you can see them kind of coming to their own right before your eyes, and that's going to be valuable experience for next year. And
I tell you, as you mentioned, the freshmen have had to grow up. Coach McSorley mentioned that in the Wilmington News Journal article. They're not really young anymore. Now, I know they are by age, but not in experience. He expects them to play as well as anybody else at this point.
I heard him a few seasons ago rally the guys, and before the season started, he said the best guy plays. He said the best guy plays.
Yeah.
And that's, you got to respect that. The best guy plays.
And usually for Clinton-Massie, that's hard to get on the field as a freshman.
Right,
When the need happens, it happens. So Wilmington has scored, and now they're up 7-6 on New Richmond. So
wow.
We want to send a couple shout-outs here. So how about this? Weston and Emily Trampler are watching Campus Nation on their honeymoon.
Hey!
On their honeymoon. So if you don't think that Campus Nation doesn't reach across this audience, this fine land of ours, we have a couple on their honeymoon. Congratulations to Weston Trampler.
And it's good to know you got your priorities straight.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely.
I
Nice
like
job,
that.
Weston. So we appreciate everybody checking in. Shout out to Big Play Gabe, hard worker, great player, and even a better young man.
Yes.
Proud of you from the Romars in Seattle, Washington. We appreciate them checking in. Let's go Falcons from Jackie and Wallace Griffin, class of 1995. Jimmy Stone, class of 1989. Here in beautiful Sabine, Ohio, the Eden of Ohio. Happy homecoming. Batavia with a snap. The flare screen. He's met immediately. He's brought down after no gain. In fact, they're going to wave that off saying he did not complete the catch and the ball was lost. I believe that was Decker again. So a nice stick by Trampler. That was Tristan Trampler.
I thought that was Trampler over there making a play. That's for you, Weston.
That's right.
That's
so
happy honeymoon.
we appreciate you taking some time on your honeymoon. Your brother just made a stick right there to create a not a loss, but keep him at the line of scrimmage there. As we check in with a few more people as they're sending shout-outs from all over Ohio and this great land of ours from coast to coast. The Horners are watching from their home in Blanchester.
Yeah.
How about our friends at Groovy Dog Tie-Dye watching from Morrow Arts Center? Go Falcons, the snap to roller.
Get in there.
A lot of pressure. He's going to be brought down and sacked at the 18-yard line. That's 3, Brighton Rodman, Brandon Updike, and finished off by Elijah Groh.
Nice defensive line gets in and says, you know what, we want some of this bulldog. So they get in there and they bulldog the offensive line.
Bowled them over, absolutely.
Yes.
We greatly missed you guys last week. Shout out to cheerleader Sammy Brown from Memes and Bookie.
Nice.
It's going to be defensive holding, though.
Oh, what are we doing here?
Wow, that's interesting. So on the sack, unfortunately, there is defensive holding called. So they're going to go ahead and move the ball in favor of the Bulldogs. They go back to the line of scrimmage, and then they'll walk that off from there. So, again, if you want to send your shout-outs, 937-303-8069. Also, we'll have a question of the game coming up a little bit later, 937-303-8069. Check in wherever you're at. If you're on your honeymoon, if you are across the country in Seattle, Washington, if you're in Taiwan, we've heard that quite a few times. So, 3 receivers to the left, single receiver to the right. The run goes to Shepard. He's quick, and he gets a couple yards on this first down run. It'll be second and 8.
Yeah. Man, and that's one that was big for Batavia because that was a huge, huge play because they were going to be punting. And so now they're keeping this drive going with about 6:49 left here in the second quarter.
And there was a loss of probably 12 yards on that play as well. So not only were they going to have to punt, but punt from a little deeper in their territory. So a quick stoppage of play for a shoe to be tied. And this time the 4-2 defense with 5 defensive backs, a nickel package against this 4x4 look, which is 2 to the left, 2 to the right. A running back, which is Shepard next to Roller. A lot of pressure. He runs off to the left. He tries to stay on his feet. He's going to throw it out of bounds, and just a smart play by Roller. So not only is he a smart player so far, we've seen a couple times where he's decided to run it, get those yards when needed. He's also pretty accurate in his short passing game.
He is, and setting up a bit of a 3rd and long here for them. But the quarterback definitely, he can feel the game, and he's not hurting them at all. Of course, he wants that interception back, but he's making some good plays. He needs to keep this drive going for the Bulldogs.
He's the number 5 passer in the SBAC, so that's both sides of the national and American side with 1,001 yards. And you mentioned Melman. Melman is their receiver with 706. He is number 2 in the SBAC, but unfortunately out with a injury. So we hope that young man feels better and he's back to full strength as soon as possible. And miss him tonight. You'd like to see them at full strength.
Yeah, you do. Now setting up a 3rd and long here.
2x2 with the protection. Looks good. Outside goes to Cy Gibson. Cy Gibson out of his outstretched hands.
Yeah, he stretched out. It might have took a little when he hit that turf. Might have hurt just a bit.
Yeah, it looks like he got the wind knocked out of him a little bit. He's trotting back to the line of scrimmage, and they're going to reset this for a 4th down and 7. So as they gambled before, it looks like they're willing to gamble again.
Now this ain't the coach that doesn't punt, is it? Like it just says.
Yeah, I don't know if this is the Johnny's, the guy from Wisconsin that says he doesn't believe in punting. Doesn't matter if they're all the way on their own 20. So no, I think this guy is willing to punt when necessary. But
here comes Roller.
He knows that he's up against a offense that right now is up on him 14 points, so he's going to have to score some himself with 6:19 left. 14-0 is your score. Clinton-Massie up after a turnover by Batavia. They're able to score in their first 2 drives there. So the snap, and he
nice.
does do a
like
quick
that.
kick. Yep,
Well
does
played.
a quick kick. We've seen
Nice
that before.
roll.
And it's going to be an exceptional roll all the way down to about the 18-yard line. So something that we've seen in the past from other quarterbacks, especially with the size that he has.
Nice big long leg there and gets a good roll. Nice to have that in your pocket, a quarterback that can do that. So now you kind of turn the field, and you're going to make Massie go 80 yards if they're going to score, which right now, tonight, they've done well. They've controlled the offensive line of scrimmage greatly tonight.
And I talked to their coach. Their punter is actually roller either way. So, and he punts and Keegan Lamb punts. I said, well, I hope we don't get into a quarterback competition of punting. That's not going to be a very fun game if that's the case.
No, it was like the Thursday night games the last couple of weeks, 9-6. And I'm like, give me a break. These old quarterbacks trying to hang around and do something.
Here we go. So a double slot look, single receiver to the left. That's Phipps.
Nice run.
Yeah,
All
that's
your
a nice
blockers,
run up front here. So we do have a shout-out. We've got to send a shout-out from Coach Scott Rolfe.
All right.
Says, Braden and I are watching. He said, wanting to send this shout-out from Benning, Georgia. That's where they're at for their graduation, and we appreciate your service already and the service to come. Braden, very proud of you as a Clinton-Massie Falcon out there representing the United States of America in the military. So we have nothing but love for our military families here in Clinton-Massie, a Purple Star high school we are. So off the left-hand side goes a successful run, a first down run on the second down. There's about a 12-yard gain, a 10-yard gain or so. That's going to be a first down, but Brady Russell does come off the field holding his right hand or maybe took a hit to a sensitive area potentially there. So double slot is the look. Motion by Gabe McDowell, opening by Brady Clutter. Brady Clutter's off to the races, to the 40, to the 30, to the 20. There's 4 people chasing him. He's going to be brought down at the 5-yard line. It's going to be down, and the ball's going to go out of bounds off the left-hand side. So
he's shifty.
And ever since he's come back from that week off, he looks faster. He just looks in better health.
He was patient, follows blocker, then he made the moves and left the guys and just about 3-4 yards away from 5 yards away from taking that in. So nice run. I knew he's gritty and he's physical, but, man, he's a shifty back on that.
He looked fast there. And the split back Rhino set.
Good vision.
Sniffer back is Phipps. Off the left-hand side is Gabe McDowell. He's going to be tackled but brought into the end zone by the tackler. So that's going to be a touchdown for Clinton-Massie. On the play, trying to make the tackle was, I believe that was Bell. So Clinton-Massie, a third score in this first half, brings Nolan Phipps to snap this extra point. Caden Zantini will be your holder, and McGinnis will be your kicker. So, again, if you're Clinton-Massie, that's exactly what you wanted to do. You had 6 minutes left. You were able to do it in a little over a minute. Yeah. So with 5 minutes left, you're able to reset your defense back on the field after this kickoff, hopefully get another stop, and maybe potentially another score.
Yeah, 21-0. This is what you want to do if you're Massie. And a nice couple stops by the defense these last 2 drives, interception. And now you've got you've been able to flip the field, make them punt, and a quick score for the Falcons. So if you're Batavia, you want to slow it down and take some time off.
Go back to that first drive and just eat clock, because keeping us off the field at this point is the main thing for the offense. So I asked Coach Stacy, I said, what is it about Clinton-Massie that stands out when you watch them on film? So you've known them for years. You've seen them, whether it was at Fayetteville, Perry by video on other teams. You've seen them now on video for this particular team. What is it that stands out? And he said, without any hesitation, O-line, D-line. O-line, D-line. They play hard. They are consistent. They block the right people. They know what they're doing. They know where they're going. And he used this term, execution.
Yeah, they do.
Excellence of execution.
Comes down to discipline, knowing your role, and executing the playing.
McGinnis from the 40 with the kick. Another towering kick that's going to be into the end zone, so that's going to be a touchback.
Good thing it did.
Yeah, because the Eubanks had already started towards the sideline there. I guess he figured he had more confidence in McGinnis than even our team did.
Yeah, funny story. That happened in the Waynesville kicker a couple games ago. They went to kick the ball, landed on the 2-up backspin, and they had to run back, get the ball.
Yeah.
And, yeah, you got to be careful with that. But, yeah, that carried into the end zone, and they're going to get the ball at the 20. That's interesting. It's 20-yard line. In the pros, it's the 25 now.
Yeah.
I'm surprised the high school hasn't moved it up to the 25 by this point.
Well, I think because the high school still kicks from the 40, they want the kickoff, and the NFL's trying to get away from kickoffs. I mean, for the most part, they wanted to just go to the 25 and start play from there. So Shepard goes in motion. He stops and goes back towards the line of scrimmage. Yeah, I guess he wasn't completely set yet, so they're going to allow him to get reset. And a little bit of movement by the receiver on the right-hand side. That's number 7. And I believe they're going to call an illegal. That's a false start by Batavia off one of the receivers there. So they're going to be set back 5 yards and already behind schedule with 4 minutes and still 5:01 left on the clock. Yeah,
you hate to do that, shoot yourself in the foot, and start with the 1st and 15. But now Massey's going to pin their ears back, and they're going to be going after this quarterback just like they did last drive.
In the defensive backfield, you see Miles Thege and Keegan Lamb. Brady Russell back on the field in that outside corner position. You also see Gabe McDowell and Tristan Trampler locking down the other side. So a 2-by-2 look. That's Bell in the backfield that shifts over to the right-hand side. Roller gets the snap, fakes the handoff.
Pump fake to get him, yeah. I have those.
That was a nice throw. Unfortunately, it was not caught by Eubanks. Eubanks being helped out by the Clinton-Massie and another Batavia Bulldog.
Paused the defense with that pump fake to get him to stop, and then just opened up an extra second to make that pass. And got to have those in games like this.
And the coach was very complimentary of his receivers, so please don't take this next statement as anything other than just a remark. I mean, he said, he believes Roller is getting more comfortable with this offense, but drops at times, you can't have them, and you can't really put that one on the quarterback. So, he loves his receiving core, thinks they're doing a great job, especially Melman that's out this game, but all the rest of them as well. They're still kind of young in the receiving core in certain spots, but, drop balls is a problem and one that they got to take care of before they can be consistent, and that's the number one thing he wants to see is a change in their consistency.
That's it, and that's again at every level, consistency. Play the game the right way, no penalties, secure the ball when you get a pass like that. I know they want to have that one back, secure it, move the chains, and that's going to help on every level.
Cy Gibson getting instruction from the coaches on the sideline. He's sent back onto the field. This time they huddle up, so not from the line but more from the huddle this time as they bring the play in from the sideline. We'll watch this back judge here to make sure that we're not going to run out of time here. The Batavia Bulldog offensive line gets set with freshman Graves in the middle there. He puts his hand on the ball. The hand is up, so 5 seconds left. They do get the play off. Roller gets set. Nice throw.
Nice.
And a nice catch. A very nice catch by that Cy Gibson, and we've called his name a few times. He's got some speed and nice hands there.
And it almost looked like he hung him out to dry, as we say, with that defense, but he pulled it down, got low, got the yardage, and nice play by Cy there.
So there's going to be a flag on the far side, and we'll get that call for you here in just a second. So as play stops, it's going to be a sideline warning. So they wave the flag off. We give them a sideline warning. So for those of you that are not familiar with the rules of football, the referees have to be able to run up and down the sideline unabated. So that means they can't run into a coach. They can't run into a player, ball boy, no matter what it is. If they do one time, it's a sideline warning. Yep, and then after that, it's a penalty against the head coach. Actually, so Clinton-Massie sets their defense, a 4-2 look. Outside the defensive ends are Rodman, and that looks like Updike on the other side. So bookends on that side, Updike and Rodman looking to bring some pressure. This particular snap, Gavin, gets through.
Nice.
The snap, the hold, and the catch by Eubanks.
Yeah, he got it this time. Got some extra yards after catch. Yak. Got about 10 there after that catch, and a nice play by Eubanks.
Again, back to that first drive when they seemed to be, everything was moving right.
Yeah, everything's rhythm. Everything's flow. If you get in it, it helps. You know, it just builds. And you get in that rhythm, and look, they're in it right now, and Massey's going to need a stop here.
And you wonder just a little bit, as Coach Roth checked in earlier tonight, and we know Jordan Phipps is calling his first defensive game from the sideline. It'll be interesting to see as the game goes on, is that something where Coach Phipps starts to feel his rhythm just a little bit differently as the time progresses here. The snap, the handoff, he's met immediately and then by a second defender, so he gets stopped by Green and then finished off by Rodman.
Yeah, and the Shepherd goes down in the backfield, going to set up 2nd and 11. Nice stop there. Green gets in and makes a nice play there.
Timeout by Clinton-Massie in order to preserve some of the time here. So we want to step back to our shout-outs. A couple shout-outs here. It looks like watching from Springboro. Shout-out to the Chain Gang. Years of dedication, forever a Falcon.
Panthers.
The Kratzers in Sligo, class of 79 and 82, also saying go Falcons. Watching our great nephew, Joey Coker from Iowa. Go Massey. Excellent. So Ann Rodman sending a shout-out from Louisville, Kentucky. Watching my grandson, Brighton Rodman, making some great plays, and go Falcons.
He's brightening your day.
Like to give a shout-out to the girls' varsity soccer team, still undefeated and now league leaders, and also go Falcon football from the Shockleys. Yes, we actually had a pep rally today, and I'll tell you what, it was kind of neat. As I was sitting on the other sideline, you heard, such a successful year by the girls' soccer team, a very successful year by the boys' soccer team. Absolutely. No, I'm saying. And then you had league champions already for golf, boys golf. And then how about our girls tennis team? The Clinton-Massie girls tennis team setting a school record for wins this year, absolutely dominating the league. And I mean dominating fashion. If sets won to sets lost is unbelievable. I'd say probably somewhere in the 92% win ratio. So excellent job in all sports so far in the fall. And as the pass goes, and he's met immediately, but he's able to.
Nice tackle.
Did he bring that in? Yes, he did. Yes, he did. So, no, they called that an incomplete pass. Sorry.
Oh, wow.
The tackle was right on time, so looks like 3rd and 11. So Clinton-Massie jarred that ball loose and was able to reset the offense for the Batavia Bulldogs off of the left hash.
Yeah. Trampler's making plays.
Trampler with another stick. Nice job. Shout out from Atlanta. This is Brighton Rodman's grandpa, Scott Rodman, back from Taiwan, I assume.
Hey,
go Falcons.
Welcome back, Scott.
Yeah. A lot of Rodmans checking in, so I wonder if Dennis is around.
Yeah, that's good.
Two by two is your set. Single running back is Shepard to the right. Roller gets the ball, sets his feet, and throws, and it's going to be intercepted by Miles Thiegy. Are they going to count that as a catch?
That's for you, Coach Roth.
That's a catch and a turnover. Interception by Miles Thiegy. He goes down. As he hits the ground, the ball lands in his lap, and he tucks and cradles it, and now the offense back on the field. So if you're Batavia again, that interception bug has gotten you.
Yeah, and just overthrows the intended target as he went across the middle, and Thiegy there to make the play. And here come the Falcons. 2:39 left here in the second quarter before halftime, so hopefully they can pull one out here.
Clinton-Massie sets up on the 24-yard line. In motion goes Gabe McDowell, but the ball is going to be given to Brody Clutter. Good run on first down, trying to not only eat yardage, but have about 2:30 to do it in. Let's go Falcons from Trevor Cackley, watching from his home in Sabina. We appreciate them checking in. We also appreciate our friends from Gold Star Chili in Wilmington that's willing to deck out the press box here with some good conies.
That's right.
So the snap, and Gavin Hunter gets the ball. He's going to go outside, and he goes out of bounds to preserve some time on the clock so Clinton-Massie can hopefully finish this drive off still with some points. How about Kenneth Hernandez, class of 1997, listening tonight and saying, go Falcons.
Yeah.
The Randolphs watching from across the road, go Massey. So they're traveling from all the way across the road.
Right.
This radio or this TV signal all the way across the road to the Randolphs. So we
from
appreciate
the Randolphs
you checking
to
in.
Taiwan. There's no place we won't go.
That's right. Campus Nation worldwide.
That's right.
Clinton-Massie This time set up at the 35-yard line. Double slot as the look, single receivers to the right. In motion goes Gavin Hunter. This time Keegan Lamb's going to keep it. See
that push, Matt? You see that push?
Absolutely. A wall of blue pushing back a wall of white.
That's what I'm talking about. That's some men that have worked out in the offseason.
Yep.
That's some men that said, I don't need to be on TikTok or Facebook. I need to be in the weight room. And you see that push, 8 yards right there.
Exactly what Coach Stacy has said he wants his team to do, and there's nothing wrong with imitation as the best form of flattery.
That's right.
A pass to Brady Russell. Oh, goes down a little gingerly there, but he's able to pop right back up, goes off the sideline, and that is just enough. So 14-6 is your score. Wilmington up on New Richmond. We're going to keep an eye on that game.
Yeah. Wilmington's got a little something going. Go ahead.
Here's what that pass does. It prepares you for the next week.
Yeah.
So here's what the defensive coordinator, we're going to get this play off as Gabe McDowell goes into motion. He gets the pitch off the right-hand side. Owen Trick gets the block, and he is brought down behind the line of scrimmage, 3 yards behind the line of scrimmage by Batavia.
Elliott Thompson, nice play there, Elliott.
So here's what that pass does. So if you're New Richmond, you're looking at that pass and you're saying, I better make sure that I have that prepared. I don't know when they're going to necessarily pull it out. I've got to get ready for that, so I'm going to have that as part of my series of defense, and it takes up time. I'm a former coach, and I know that you only have a certain amount of time for the whole week, and sometimes your defensive day doesn't seem to last as long as you want it to, and you have the opportunity to go over a handful of plays, and those plays have to cover a wide variety of formations, a wide variety of plays, and that pass just took up some practice time for New Richmond.
Yeah, got to keep an eye on it, got to watch it. Brady Russell now making plays on both sides of the ball, and he has caught a ball on the offense and on the defense. So Brady Russell, like the way he's playing. Went out for a play there, got hit maybe, but he's back in, and he's doing well, playing well tonight.
You know you don't throw a lot of passes when your leading receiver has as many interceptions as he does receptions. So, yeah, we appreciate everybody that's able to check in with us. And as we go out here, we're going to get set for the question of the game as we come into the second half. We'll give you that pretty early, hopefully after another Clinton-Massie score and performance by the Clinton-Massie band. I do not see the Batavia band here tonight. And Batavia fans trying to brave the cold, coming quite a bit of ways from out there in Batavia to support their team, who, as you said, as the coach mentioned, has a lot of love for football no matter what their record is. And I asked the coach, I said, there's going to be a timeout called. There's going to be something that you want me to share. What do you want me to say to your fans? And he said, the number one thing I am just blown away by is the amount of parent support that I've received already and this team receives. No matter what the record is, we have staff members, parents that want to help out. And the play stays with Keegan Lamb. He breaks loose into the secondary. He's brought down at the 28-yard line, so a very successful run.
He saw it.
From the 49 to the 28 goes Keegan Lamb.
Keegan's got a quick first step. He's by you before you realize it.
Into the secondary goes Keegan Lamb. And now back with his line of scrimmage, brings them at the 28-yard line. Wishbone backfield, the snap, the toss goes.
There you go.
With Coker leaning out, and they they attempt to make a nice play, and they finish that one off.
34 did that 2 plays in a row. He's sniffing that play out. He's watching big play Gabe there, and he said, I think they're going to pitch it outside here. And both times he's made some big plays, but that's going to stop the clock. Looks like, is Massie going to call a timeout?
No, it's going to be an official's timeout.
Officials, okay.
It looks like an injury on the other side. Okay, I'm going to say that I have a little bit of psychic ability, and here's how I'm going to prove it. I know Jeske Santini, Coach Santini, enough to know that what's coming next pretty soon is the counter.
Okay.
So you get a couple tosses that don't go your way.
Right. But now you're setting something up.
You are setting something up with a counter back to the other side. So you'll see that here in just a little bit, I guess.
There you go.
The pass goes to Rodman. It goes off of his hands.
Just a bit overthrown.
A little bit on the far shoulder, and Rodman's not able to bring that in, but they're going to reset for 3rd down and 13 from the 33-yard line. So Clinton-Massie does have enough time, 32 seconds left, to get a couple plays off here. So let's see if they can hit pay dirt within the next 35 seconds or so.
Yeah, and you stop the clock, so that's okay. And I like these scenarios because if you're lucky enough to get into the playoffs this year and you're in a situation, you want to learn how to run a hey, a minute offense. What do? We want to stop the clock. Even if we incomplete the pass, at least we stop the clock. Maybe you can get some points on the board, 3 points maybe a touchdown here. But you want to run these scenarios. It's a good time to do that.
Looks like Batavia is going to take a timeout there. And I just want to finish the thoughts of Coach Stacy. So he said, what is it special that you've already realized about this community? He has eager parent support. He's served by the parents and the community at team meals. They will even change their work schedule. People that own their own companies that will come to serve these meals. Homecoming was insane. He said it was absolutely amazing. The turnout was unbelievable. The area, the community was just blanketed with green and white. And, they're supportive of the kids. Yeah. Unfortunately, the record's not where they want to be, and the program's still learning and growing, but he feels the support.
But he feels that the football program, the kids feel that, and that's just going to build. Like I said, he's building something. This is just year one. And so what he's going to see is that's going to pay off. The kids are going to feel that this young team's going to get better and better and better. They're going to get more consistent, and that's going to pay off.
And you know what? You couldn't have segued better into this statement. I said, what's something, Coach, that you would like your team to realize that they're just not there yet? Either they're too young or they don't have enough experience on the field. He said, I want them to realize they're better than they realize they are.
Yeah, and I think when you do that and you get the support, that makes the kids want to play. Like, man, we didn't have a great season, but they were with us. We want to go out and give it our everything,
In motion goes Gavin Hunter. He goes out to a slot. Keegan Lamb throws, and it's going to be to Gavin Hunter. He's got an opening. He's going to see the end zone. Touchdown! Gavin Hunter on the reception.
Yes. Nice play by the block down here, not to get a clipping call, but to turn around. And that block. Nice, smart football block there. But look, here we go, and Massie's scoring on a pass.
We said 35 seconds is enough time for a couple plays. They just needed the one.
Yeah, and they do it in just a few seconds. Nice play.
And you know what's a little funny? So usually Jordan Phipps is up in the box with Coach Zantini. I'm telling you, he just shared a smile with Coach Zantini. I guarantee you Coach Zantini has been waiting to run that play for the entire week. And as he's walking down the sideline, he looked up at the box and had a huge smirk on his face. So they just had a good connection there. They know that play had been coming all week, and it scored exactly what it was supposed to do.
Yeah, when you get ready to dial it up and you've kind of waited on it, and it's executed like we talked about. It's executed perfectly, and the team executes it. That's a good feeling.
Now, I don't want to get ahead of where we're at in this particular game. We wish nothing but the best for Batavia the rest of this contest, as well as Clinton-Massie, but we are going to look just a little bit ahead. You've got New Richmond, you've got Wilmington, and then when you go to the stat sheets, the SBAAC stat sheets, Wilmington is playing tonight, Goshen and Western Brown are playing, and, of course, Batavia and Clinton-Massie. I want you to notice who is the number one leading rusher in the SBAAC.
Oh, that's old Thad Stuckey.
And then who's the number 3 leading rusher in the SBAAC?
That's Wilmington. Yeah, Caden Denniston.
So you've got 2 out of the top 5 rushers.
Big rushing attack
in Wilmington.
Yeah, new coach over there from what I heard.
Evans, yep.
And he's doing a good job. And it's going to be rushing against rushing. And there's no love lost between these two rivals.
Absolutely not.
Bummer.
Oh, just barely goes out of bounds. That's going to be a penalty, and the ref does pick
nice
up.
Nice hands.
Yeah, nice job, ref. So now next week you've got
A.J. Metzger from New Richmond, 1,800 passing yards.
That's right. So you're going from a 1,825 yards passing offense to a rushing offense that has over 1,700 yards the very next week. That's hard to do in a small school division. Yeah,
and kudos to Coach Roth and the defensive for getting them ready, because sometimes you're going to see a spread offense that passes 200 yards a game, and they could easily have 2,000 yards passing by next week. When they play New Richmond, but then you go to and you face that rushing attack. So not an easy stretch these last 2 games.
Absolutely not. You got to have them stay in the playoffs. So Cy Gibson unfortunately goes down to the ground before he's able to cradle it there. So Roller, nice pass, but another drop ball, which is just something they're going to work through as their youth.
And sometimes you see the defense say, hey, if I'm just going to keep the clock running, and sometimes I don't know if he did, but sometimes you say, hey, I'm just going to knock it down and let the clock stop.
I'll tell you, number 66, a offensive lineman, was all the way probably a good 12 yards downfield. I don't think the ball was behind the line of scrimmage if it would have been caught, so that would have been interesting to see if they would have called him for a legal man downfield. So this time they're just going to let the clock run out. Shepard, That's Nolan Phipps on the tackle. So number 35 for Clinton-Massie brings down number 21, Shepard, for Batavia. And Batavia is going to be okay with just ending the half at this point down 28-0. So you wanted a couple extra scores late in this second quarter. That's exactly what you got for Clinton-Massie. So we appreciate everybody that's been joining us so far, and the shout-outs have been coming in. We're going to take some time here at halftime. We'll recap just a little bit of what we saw so far. So if you're Clinton-Massie, what are you saying as a coach? You're going up 28-0 with still a half to play.
Oh, you just say finish strong. This is how we want to play. We've not punted the ball. We have, executed our game plan. We have dominated on the offensive line. I mean, I'm seeing these guys push 8-9 yards down the field. So we've executed our plan. Just keep doing what we're doing. Finish strong. And you might want to make a statement to New Richmond and Wilmington if you come out and they look at the scoreboard and say, man, Massey's rolling. They've won 3 out of their last 4 games, and they are on fire. So it looks like the Massey of old, and kind of use that intimidation factor.
Yes, absolutely. You want to establish your dominance in the second half to make sure New Richmond knows what's coming for them. And going down to New Richmond is going to be a tough game to play at. Going to New Richmond is tough. And just a little update, 17-6 Wilmington over New Richmond. So I'm telling you, both sides of that competition, are going to be interesting ends for Clinton-Massie. I mean, you see the rushing attack for Wilmington, see the passing attack for New Richmond, and they're going to battle against each other, and then we're going to see them for the next 2 weeks in a row. And I'd get in trouble if I don't send this shout-out. How about a shout-out to my wife, my grandson, and my mom, who are all sitting around the TV right now watching,
Baker
watching
family.
us and the Baker family. So we appreciate even the Bakers joining us, and I'm sure your friends, the Lambs, are joining you as well at some point. So we appreciate everybody checking in. Just a couple more shout-outs before we step away here. We want to see the band perform, watching from, Apalachicola, Florida.
Yeah. Apalachicola.
There we go. Okay, gotcha. Thank you for that save there. We have watched every game since 2010. Love to watch Massey football. That's Art and Connie Whitaker. So we appreciate Art and Connie.
And our thoughts and prayers to everybody down there in Florida. Boy, what a week they've had, couple weeks.
Especially our friends in Sanibel, which we've had our family visit there a few times, and I know it's beautiful country down there, but they're definitely up against it. So we are going to step away. We'll come back with a little time left before this halftime is over. We want to make sure and share our first half thoughts. Also, we got to get ready for the question of the game. It's going to be an exciting question of the game where we're going to support maybe somebody that needs a little bit of a mental upheaval there. So we're going to bring some love to that person, as well as share some good thoughts here in just a moment. So as Massey takes the field, we turn the mic over to the band and enjoy the show.
To get on board and enjoy the ride, let's welcome all of them to the field. gentlemen, give it up for the Clinton-Massie band and the Clinton-Massie cheerleaders. The Clinton-Massie band would like to thank everybody that participated in the gift card raffle. Our winner is Marco Flint. Congratulations. And once again, thank you for supporting the marching band. And then once again, we did have the split the pot winning ticket. I don't know if it's been claimed or not. If not, the ticket number is 732-9639. If it's been claimed, congratulations. And once again, we split the pot winning ticket number 732-9639. We want to come to the bottom of the press box if you have not done so yet for your winnings. It's quoted at $127, so someone's buying breakfast tomorrow. And once again, that winning ticket number is 732-9639.
with that dreaded C word with cancer. And we'll keep to ourselves what type, but it doesn't look good. It's aggressive is the term that was being used. And the person that shared this information with me, again, connected to the district, very closely to the district, was very distraught, very upset. My hope was that tonight our question of the game is, do you know a cancer survivor? So I want to be able to share these shout-outs back to us, these answers back to us with this person to say, hey, I know that right now it looks a little bleak. But here are so many examples of people that have overcome cancer. And I want to take just a moment and appreciate those that unfortunately have lost that battle. Coming up is our 3-year anniversary. Good friend of mine, member of the church, Brian Mudd, a staple of Clinton-Massie, both athletics and the Clinton-Massie classroom for many, many years, over 25 years, and Clinton County Athletic Hall of Famer. We lost him 3 years ago on Sunday. Battled the brain cancer that he had battled there for about 18 months or so after a couple surgeries. His time was over. We also lost Allie Staten, one of our 5th grade teachers, to a very, very rare form of cancer. And then we also lost one of our bus drivers. And unfortunately, the list does go on. And we want to take a moment and say that we miss those people and that those people have always and forever changed our hearts. But I think it's also important for us to share the survival stories, the success stories, if you will. So, I'd lead this off, and I'm sure you'll have one to share as well. So my first story back would be my wife. So many people know that my wife battled breast cancer.
Yes,
in
sir.
fact, just this Tuesday went through her 1 year of clear appointment.
Amen.
So we appreciate that. We're very happy to see that. She was very nervous, but nothing nervous about because she's in the hands of the one that we know takes care of things. So we want to make sure and share those stories. So, my wife battled through that for about 18 months or so and came across the other side of that. She is a survivor and is Breast Cancer Awareness Month. So all of our admin team proudly wears their pink ribbon pin. And I just want to make sure that as we share these thoughts, tell us who you know that is a cancer survivor so we can share that story back with this close Falcon family member. EJ, I believe you've had something along those same lines.
Yeah, and that term takes a whole new, a level of, I hate to say the word, but a new level of closeness when you have a close family member. My father-in-law, about a year ago, almost close to the date, was diagnosed with colon cancer. But with the help of God and the help of a good church family and a community there in Waynesville, he is a year into it. Chemo is going well. He's surviving and a survivor thus far, but surviving and doing well. Matter of fact, this time last year we laughed because the chemo was taking a toll and he was weak. And we had a funny story where he had fell over in Targets and my legs were just so weak. And I told him, I said, well, we should have had that on camera. And he started laughing. And he said, but he said a year later, I'm better. The cancer's out. Few spots left. But all in all, doing much better. And that's Todd Patton, my father-in-law. So we keep praying for him. But we want to remember this need as well and give our thoughts and prayers and just believe for the best.
And our cameraman, Corey Price, just shared quickly that his father is a cancer survivor as well. Colon cancer as well. My father is a prostate cancer survivor. So there's a lot of survival stories. So, again, we're taking a different approach to the question of the game. The question is, do you know a cancer survivor, somebody that battled and has come through the other side of that, so we can share this story with this family, this Falcon family member in need? 937-303-8069. Again, 937-303-8069. So this isn't about, winning a free pizza. This is about a potential life-changing support system put in place.
It's a faith builder is what we call this.
Absolutely. So
and we look out at Batavia, and they've got the pink on, which I believe represents breast cancer awareness.
Breast cancer awareness.
So it's a cancer awareness night through October.
Yep.
And so, just something to think about and send your prayers out
to this
for that.
family.
Yes.
Absolutely, yeah. And we know that there's going to, and I've already said that the support that we can give will be in place. We call ourselves the Falcon family, and it's not just a kitsch term. It's something that we believe in. We follow. We practice. We make our mistakes like everybody else, and family members sometimes fight amongst each other. I haven't always been patted on the back for the decision I made as a superintendent, but that's not my job to worry about that all the time. It's to worry about taking care of our kids, taking care of our community, taking care of our staff. So we hope to do those things, and in this case, we're going to try to build up one of our Falcon family members by sharing survival stories. The question of the game again, 937-303-8069, is do you know a cancer survivor? Now, as we get off of that and get back to our game, we're going to have a kickoff by Clinton-Massie as Batavia set to receive the second half kick. Eubanks gets set underneath at the 6-yard line. He gets it, corrals it, and he's brought down very quickly. A tough hit by Clinton-Massie brings him down at the 20-yard line. So about a 15-yard return or so is going to set Batavia up. Down 28-0. So, again, what are you listening to? What are you saying as the Batavia coaching staff?
Well, you want to come out and make a statement. You had some two really nice drives, just couldn't convert those into points. So you want to have a nice drive, maybe not as long because you're down 4 touchdowns. You want to have a nice long drive and try to put it in the end zone.
Yeah, I think at this time it's setting the tone for the second half. You may see some younger guys moving into the lineup for Clinton-Massie. We'll share those as we get them. I think they're going to come out in this starter set here to start the second half, knowing that these next couple of games are going to be extremely tough. Brighton Rodman breaks down.
Gets off his block.
Absolutely.
Makes the move. Nice play.
Breaks down in order to make a good open field tackle there. As you said, sheds his blocker and is able to make the tackle behind the line of scrimmage or at the line of scrimmage for a 2nd and 10. Again, already behind in the schedule is Batavia.
Yeah. Matt, do you do the Sauerkraut Festival? It's this weekend. Do you guys
do
that?
It is. We do not. We're not a part of that. We do have some members
do you
of
go or do you, enjoy that?
Not as much. I'm not a
couple
big Sauerkraut
100,000
guy.
people?
I'm going to have the pleasure, actually, of joining my good friend, Rick Phillips of Campus Nation, founder, creator, producer extraordinaire, and we're going to be at Wright State tomorrow calling the Wright State Ohio State Club
football
game.
Yeah.
Absolutely. A lot of pressure. Looked like a screen or just a lot of pressure, one of the two. And Roller just throws the ball into the ground.
One thing the defense has done is locked in. After that first drive, they saw a lot of things, but they've adjusted. And it looks like they're kind of more prepared for what Batavia is going to do.
Seems like pressure has been a little bit more on since that first drive as well.
For sure. And hats off to this defense, who is pitching a shutout. So, Massie defense traditionally this year is having a very good season.
Absolutely. And
so,
just a couple weeks ago, I asked the coach, what was it that stands out? And he said usually it's Clinton-Massie having state-level scoring, but it's the defense this year. The defense is holding them in, and that's noticed by the other coaches as well.
2 takeaways already tonight for the defense.
3 receivers to the left, single receiver to the right. Roller steps back. It's out of the backfield, goes that pass. Looks like there's going to be a flag in the offensive backfield, so we'll either see holding or potentially, it is going to be a holding call against Batavia. So as they're resetting that line of scrimmage, we're going to reach into our shout-outs here, and we've just got so many coming across here. Let's share a couple positive stories here. So first, we're going to have a shout-out to our Clinton-Massie alumni. If you have Facebook, you can reconnect with former classmates at Clinton-Massie High School alumni. Please do that. We're also seeing sounds great, have a great weekend here. So we're getting a lot of shout-outs from different people. We'll get to some of those survival stories here in just a moment. If you want to send your shout-out, feel free, 937
There's the punt.
303-8069. The quick kick again.
He gets a good bounce.
Absolutely. Nice job there.
That's a 12-yard bounce.
As we have time, as they switch from offense to defense, does Clinton-Massie, we're going to go back to our sponsors, and that starts with Sam's Meats. So Sam's Meats in Wilmington, in support of locally owned and operated business, you'll find fresh chicken, pork, and beef. Dine in or carry out and enjoy homemade hot bar meals and grill items. Sam's Meats also offers catering, party trays, homemade desserts, open Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 6:30 p.m. and 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. on Saturday. They're also hiring. Apply for a full-time or part-time position. We're back to the action here. Batavia setting up their defense at the 37-yard line. Clinton-Massie in a double slot look, single receiver to the right. The motion by Gabe McDowell. The handoff goes to Brody Clutter. He gets a 5, almost 6-yard run there on first down.
Yeah, nice run. Had somebody grabbing onto that jersey, but he kept, going forward and gets about 6 yards on that carry.
Off the field goes Ty Phipps, the receiver. Brady Russell should be coming in with the next play as they set up the huddle at the 40-yard line. The ball will rest at the 45-yard line. We're on the right-hand hash. We're moving left to right across your TV screen. Thank you for joining us, Campus Nation at campusnation.com or the Campus Nation YouTube channel. Like us on Facebook as well. So an I backfield tight end to the right. The second man through is Keegan Lamb, and he breaks through past the third level, and he's deep into the defensive backfield. That's going to be an awesome run off the left-hand side of that offensive line.
Yeah, finally brought down by Shepard. Shepard takes down the Lamb that was getting away from him there, but not after he gets the first down. So,
Corey just looked at you like, what in the world did you just say? The cheesy line counter has been off the charts the last couple broadcasts.
I'm feeling my Wheaties
He's feeling
tonight.
good. He's feeling good, yeah. A lot of people sent some information about they love the butter clutters and all the things that we brought the last time. We had a good time last time, absolutely, as we do every time. And that's a good run by Clinton-Massie on first down.
Yeah, their line is pushing. I mean, even when there doesn't seem to be a lot, their line's getting a good push tonight. That's classic Clinton-Massie football.
And if you're the Batavia defense, you've been on the field quite a bit of time, and some of those guys are going both ways. We are calling some similar names out on both sides of the ball. This time, Clinton-Massie staying in the I backfield.
No hurry.
Tight end to the left. A single receiver is Gabe McDowell to the right. The snap. Keegan Lamb keeps it off the right-hand side. Good block by Gabe McDowell. He goes outside of the numbers. He's going to be brought down at the 15-yard line. Gives the ball immediately back to the ref. And I'm gonna get on my small soapbox for here just a second. You know why I love that motion? Because I've coached for many, many years, and I coach my guys. When you make a good run, when you get a touchdown, the biggest dagger to the other team is if you just hand the ball out to the ref. Don't make a big deal about
That's
it.
it.
And here's why that is. Because it says, I'm going to be back.
Yeah, I'm
going to do this.
Yeah.
I'm going to do this
is
again.
Nothing big for me.
Yeah, I do this all the time. Keegan Lamb with a good 15-yard run, which he's had a few of those. He hands the ball to the ref and says, yeah, I'll do this before the game's over again.
Trying to get that jersey, but Gabe's going to get a good push there.
Legs are churning for all the running backs for Clinton-Massie tonight, whether it's a quarterback or somebody in the backfield. It seems like that wall of blue is pushing, and then they're following up with good effort from behind.
Yeah, and it's going to set up a second and about 6 here. But if you're Massey, there's no hurry. You can run that clock. You've got a sizable lead at this point, and right now the clock's your friend, so you just let it run. Looks like a man down over there.
Yeah, Batavia has a player down right now, so we're going to make sure and check on that player here in just a second as they roll over to their backside.
Octavia Kelch looks like is who's down on the field for Batavia right now. They're going to take a minute to look at him and take a minute to make sure he's okay. Oh, is it? Okay.
All right. So we're going to check on that player for Batavia, 25.
Octavia Kelch.
Octavia Kelch. Now, I had heard.
Female, I believe.
Yeah, I did. Actually, I heard that Batavia had a female that is playing on the field and see some time. So it seems like that's valid there. So Octavia Kelch hopefully is going to be okay. Off to the side there by the numbers, so we'll check on her in just a second. As we're doing that, we do have some time to go back to our shout-outs and our survival stories. So how about my sister Pam Horton, a huge Falcon fan, is a cancer survivor. We appreciate that. How about, yes, we know several cancer survivors, 10-year breast cancer survivor and 4 prostate cancer survivors, all family members. That's from Lyle and Barb Riblet in Iowa. It looks like many members of the family have lost their battle to cancer, but many survivors, including myself, 5 years cancer-free from our elementary school counselor. That's Jen Horner. We appreciate her checking in. And, yes, I remember her battle as well. How about I'd like to give a shout-out to number 59, Adam Frisch from Nanny and Pop Pop. And thank you, Campus Nation, for the broadcast. Go Falcons from Waylon Service, 3rd grade Pee-wee. And Wyatt Service, 2nd grade flag. So keep sending the shout-outs there. How about my son Jacob was diagnosed with neuroblastoma in March of 21 as a 1-year-old. A little over a year after chemo and surgical removal of the tumor, there is no cancer, double
Praise
exclamation point. It's 2 years out now. 2 years old now, and amazing. The Lord has done amazing work on his body,
Amen.
and that's Matt Isaacs. Matt Isaacs sharing that with
All
us.
right.
So, how about we've just got a few words to say here, and it's Let's Go Falcons. So we appreciate you checking in there. I've got some cancer survivor, my niece, Christy Hopper, and my sister-in-law, Patty Smith. Both have survived breast cancer and have had clear scans now for the last 5 to 7 years.
Wonderful.
Thank you for that. Another cancer survivor, this is Linda Hensley Mann, a former librarian, high school, library district library of Clinton-Massie. I retired 10 years ago. I'm a 17-year cancer survivor of breast cancer, triple negative, triple X negative, very aggressive form, and I've been gone 17 years with no relapses.
Awesome.
Linda Mann Helmsley from the librarian at Clinton-Massie High School.
Well, Matt, you're building my faith.
Yeah, cancer survivor, my niece as well. Just a lot of them. So we appreciate those that have had the moment or had the time to check in. Again, the idea is that we're going to build the survival conversation with a close Falcon family that is connected to the district. Did have a reach out quick. It isn't an employee of Clinton-Massie Local Schools, just to make sure that's clear, because and this just shows you how close we are as a family. Even with the vagueness that I'm purposely trying to keep in it, there was some concerns by an employee that says, hey, is that one of ours? Because if it is, we'll do everything we can. That's exactly what happens. And I've shared this story with you before. We had a family that had a fire on my street, and before the ambulances and the fire department left the scene. They hadn't even left the property yet. I'm already getting text messages. I'm already getting voicemails that say, hey, I know you got a fire down on the end of your street. Is there anything we can do? Is there anything we can bring to you? Is there anything that family needs? And when you know that there is, just let us know, because that's what the Falcon family does. We always support each other, especially in a time of need.
It's community. My wife went to get her hair done today. She drove back where we used to live, Lebanon, where I graduated. She said, oh, it's busy. Traffic to get from 4 miles down the road was a 13-minute drive, EJ. And we live out in the cornfields of Clinton-Massie, and we really like the cornfields. But there's a lot of advantages. One of them is this, community. You know, people really, it's kind of old school. People really care about each other, and that's a big deal. And they know each other because, you know, it's not huge, but there's great advantages to that. And people, I'm telling you, you that word gets out. People get out there, they talk, they pray, they encourage you, they strengthen you, they bring you food. It's a really wonderful community. Unfortunately, right now as we're talking, we see the ambulance getting ready to take this young lady off the field here. So our thoughts and prayers.
Absolutely, our thoughts and prayers. And you know, unfortunately, the EMS is responding on the field, so that means that the concern is great as the gurney comes across the track and onto the plane surface. We're going to make sure and hopefully let this young lady have some time to heal up very quickly and be back in amended shape here as soon as possible. Services provided by our Clinton and Warren Joint Fire Department. We appreciate them at every single game, 4 times just like this. Yeah, no doubt. Appreciate our first responders and all those.
Bill, there's a lady asking if Bill Russell's up here. Yes, he is.
So they're going to look at the young lady and thoughts and prayers for that.
He's coming. He's coming.
All right, so we're taking just a moment, and as we're doing that, we will take just a minute, since we have the time, to thank our sponsors, as they always have provided this broadcast free of charge. So Campus Nation fans, Campus Nation excited to bring your coverage of both the reigning state high school football champions, the Clinton-Massie Falcons, and reigning National Collegiate Club football champions, The Ohio State University, this Saturday, October 8th, 2022. Join us at Mulholland Field or watch live on campusnation.com as the Buckeyes travel to Wright State to take on the Raiders. Our stream of the Ohio State University Club football at Wright State match begins at 11:45 a.m. You will not want to miss this, and I will say, I was at that game last year, and I got to see the Ohio State Club football quarterback, and he is an unbelievable athlete. He is special. over 5,000 yards in his club career
Well,
passing. I'm telling you, he's unbelievable.
move over, C.J. Stroud.
Yeah, he had D2 offers, but he wanted to go to Ohio State so badly. That was his dream.
Wow.
That he gave up those offers in order to play. I talked to their coach. I believe it's Coach Grega, and he holds a bunch of records as well in club football. And Coach Grega said he is just an unreal athlete. That's been it's been a blessing to have him on the team. For
So
the
he
last
just
few
wants to wear the
years.
scarlet and gray.
That's it, and they take care of their club football team very similarly to the rest of their athletics. So, again, as those of you that are watching, we're going to try to keep our thoughts and prayers and our focus on this young lady that unfortunately has not made it to the sideline, still hurt, and with EMS responding here on field. So we'll try to get an update as soon as possible, but they're going to work on her for just a little bit, putting her on a back brace. A backboard. So we're hoping it's not a neck injury. We're hoping it's not a spinal injury, and nothing but our thoughts and prayers are going out to that young lady and her family. Also, our friends at Trampler Brothers Paving. Trampler Brothers Paving is a family-owned and operating full-service company specialized in commercial, industrial, and residential asphalt paving, seal coating, and excavation, developing trusting relationships with our customers through exceptional work, customer service, and integrity, proudly serving Clinton, Warren, Butler, and Hamilton County since 1935. Contact us for your free quote at 513-777-6747. Again, 777-6747. The ref's coming over and letting Coach Phipps know kind of what the overall plan will be here to make sure that this young lady has gotten off the field safely by our EMS team. And again, just taking a moment and sending thoughts and prayers. And as we've done so far, we've received quite a few cancer survivors. So right along that lines, Miss Mary Ritter, one of our employees at the elementary. My dad is a prostate cancer survivor, and I'm always thinking about Allie Staten and Brian Mudd and, all the other cancer survivors out there. We appreciate Mrs. Ritter reaching out to us as well. So a lot of stories out there of survival. If you'd like to share one with us so we can share this with somebody connected to our Falcon family, the number is 937-303-8069. Again, 937-303-8069. The question of the game, a positive one, saying, hey, do you know a cancer survivor? And if you do, share that story with us so we can share it with others.
Yeah. And just strengthens you to hear it and hear these testimonies and hear these survivors. And it warms your heart. Cancer, the name itself just can strike fear in you. But to hear this and to know, thank God for modern medicine, and we're light years away than we used to be, and thank God for our faith, because between the two, we see a lot of survivors, and we're thankful for that.
Right, many years ago, maybe an instant death sentence, but now it's a lot of survival, a lot of fighting back, like you said, with both of those opportunities, both medicine and faith. So we hope the same type of service is given to this young lady on the other side of the field as she's being put on a stretcher and secured safely there so the EMS can take her to wherever she needs to go.
Now, if you're Massie, this is a difficult one because you've kind of got cold. You've watched this, and I don't mean in a negative sense. I'm just thinking this is kind of brings you down when you see somebody carried across. You mentally got to get back into the game and realize, hey, we're playing a sport that can be violent at moments, and you got to get back up and execute the plan, and Batavia's got to do the same thing.
Absolutely.
And so it's kind of you have a pause, you wish for the best for this player, and but you got to get back up and keep moving. So they've got her strapped down, and thoughts and prayers for her right now.
Yeah, I think you mentioned it. I mean, every moment is a gift, so you need to make sure as you're playing this great game of football, and that's what it is. It's a game, and it's in the end we want to win, and the other team wants to win as well, but there's nothing more important than the safety of both sets of players, and that's where one has come under some duress here. So we're hoping that this young lady is okay, and these are hopefully precautionary measures that our EMS has taken, and they do a great job. I know that team over there, it's a team that is very well experienced. So both sides, the Clinton-Massie side, the Batavia side, clapping her up as she's exiting off the field. Yeah.
And now just for the team, get back to it and try to, they're warming up a little bit, and in this cold weather, a little stiff, so they're going to warm up for a minute and get ready to go.
Yeah, it is turned out to be a cooler night, as many of you know that have stepped outside or been with us here for a moment or two as they're traveling, 45 degrees, but that nice little breeze blowing brings it down a couple more after that. So like you said, they'll get warmed up, they'll get their blood pumping again, stretch their legs back out, and Batavia actually is going to get, I believe, probably a 3-minute warm-up. That's pretty customary when you have a injured player that's taken off by an ambulance, so they'll give them 3 minutes to start to warm back up, and then we'll get ready and set to play.
Yep. The whole Batavia team is warming up out here, just the Massie who is out on the field, but the whole Batavia team is out there warming up currently.
I was just informed, and I think to much my dismay,
Tell us about it.
So Clinton-Massie and Campus Nation travel together to other sites sometimes. We're allowed onto other people's fields and other press box. I believe Bishop Fenwick this year and the last couple of years have been nice enough to do that. We were actually able to go to Western Brown just a couple of years ago. But we will be at New Richmond. So we will be broadcasting that game if you want to join us. At New Richmond is going to be a tough game. But Rick Phillips, the producer extraordinaire, has told us that we will be 3 stories up on top of the press box.
On the river with the breeze.
Yes.
And unfortunately, folks, I'll be officiating a wedding next weekend, so I will not be here.
Right.
I'll be outside
Yes.
in a rehearsal and doing a wedding next weekend. But thoughts and prayers for all you. You better bundle up next weekend down there. And it's a nice stadium, but, man,
It is. It's a very nice facility. And Brian Conley will be joining us and helping us with that broadcast as scheduled. Is willing to help us out, usually on the end zone camera. I talked him into helping us out. He will be at the field and at the game, so he's going to help us out as EJ will be missing due to officiating that wedding. So that we should be able to bring you the Wilmington game also at the end of the year because it is a home game. It's going to be a nice contest there at the end of the year. Wilmington right now still leading New Richmond, so we'll keep that score up at that 8 as best we can. And Clinton-Massie is able to set their offense back on the field.
Yeah, got to get rolling here again, down on the 10-yard, 11-yard line.
The Rhino look brings Nolan Phipps into block. Keegan Lamb, the snap. Off to the right-hand side goes Brody Clutter. Not able to get across the in line there, so it's going to give them a second down. Actually, we'll check the yard marker because it's been a while since we ran a play. I want to make sure we have the down correct. But it's going to be still able to potentially get a first down. It is going to be a first down run, I believe. So it's going to be goal. Yep, they're going to call that a first down run. It's going to be first and goal from, it looks like, the 4-yard line.
Yeah, and we got about 7:54 left here in the third quarter. This looks like Clinton-Massie football, as we've said and alluded to earlier in the game. They're just kind of imposing their will tonight on that offensive line.
7:44 left. We're still in the third quarter. 28-0 is your score. Clinton-Massie up on the Batavia Bulldogs. The motion by Nolan Phipps. This time he goes off the left-hand side to Gay McDowell, and he's going to cross the end zone line for a touchdown. Clinton-Massie.
Big play, Gabe. Number 4 getting in for 6.
Been doing it for many, many years now. Big play Gabe takes that into the end zone.
He's got a thick lower body, don't he? He's got big legs, looks like.
Yeah, and his knee brace that he had for a couple weeks seems to be missing this week, and we might be able to look at it here a little bit closer as he comes to the sideline. But I know that was the injury that he had early in the year, and even walked around school with that brace for a little while. But I asked him the other day, how's he feeling? He said he's feeling great.
Good. He's getting a good push off the earth today.
Yeah, it looks like he doesn't even have maybe just a knee sleeve on at best. So
yeah.
Clinton-Massie with the 35-0 lead now, lead 7:32 left in your third quarter. So a little break in the action due to that injury. Again, we wish nothing but the quick recovery for that young lady that was taken off the field by a stretcher and in the ambulance as of right now.
So going back to Logan Chesser, he's not injured, is he? You think it just maybe I don't think he's seeing much of the field tonight.
No,
maybe a coaching decision?
Could be a coaching decision. I don't know of an injury.
Yeah, because I'm looking for him, and I haven't seen him yet. But the offense is moving well. regardless, that's for sure. The offensive line is getting a great push, and these running backs are playing a great game.
Yeah, Gavin Hunter has done a great job in the replacement of Logan Chesser, and you're probably going to start seeing a few younger guys work themselves into the lineup with a 35-0 score and 7:13 left in the third quarter. At best, they may get one other series, or that may be it for the first-team offense. So I know that the first-team defense will probably be back out there because they want to keep and preserve this shutout.
Yeah, 35-0 here, 6:58. It feels later in the game than it is because of that, timeout we just had, on the action.
Along the left-hand hash, the ball bounces to Shepard and then back to Eubanks. Eubanks makes two people miss, dives forward to get a couple extra yards, but that's going to stop him at the 24-yard line. Roller gets back out onto the field to set his offense as Eubanks gives the ball back to the referee, and they're going to set up at right about the 25.
Yeah, you want to get something rolling. You want to build on something here if you're Batavia, and so you want to get some positive yardage. You want to get in that end zone, and on the other side, Clinton-Massie wants to pitch a shutout.
Yeah, 42-0 score just a few weeks ago against Goshen was a shutout by the Clinton-Massie defense and kept late into that game by a young replacement defensive staff. So I'm sure the same thing is desired by this defensive staff as well. So Tristan Trampler here on the outside in the corner position with his man driver shot, and down goes the quarterback. That's Green with the sack.
He's not huge, but, man, he packs a lot of dynamite, don't he?
He's quick.
Wow. That's for Big Brother that's here in the stands tonight. That's for you.
And we did find out that Brendan Lamb is with us.
The trio is here of Taylor University Trojans.
That's right. The alumni that have went all to Taylor University, and we appreciate those checking in.
They're at homecoming.
Shout-outs from across the country, and if you still want to send your shout-out, 937-303-8069, 937-303-8069. Also, your question of the game, do you know a cancer survivor? Then share that story so we can share it with others and make sure that everybody's getting the uplift that they need. So this time, Shepard gets the ball on the handoff. The zone right play goes for about 5 yards as he's trying to get some of that yardage lost by the sack on the last play, which was Green bringing down Roller behind the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, and when you have an offense like this, you take a sack earlier in the set of downs, it sets up for some tough play calling when you're second and long and now third and long.
Yeah, just a 32 front now, so that's a single nose, the two defensive ends, and the two linebackers. So you now have 6 in the defensive backfield. You have a safety, a slot corner, an outside corner. I mean, they're really stacking the backside of the defensive backfield.
Okay.
It looks like they rally around that tackle. The first one on the scene is going to be Tristan Trampler, and then finished off there by Miles
That was
Thiegy.
one of those you just want to keep in front of you.
Absolutely,
It's 3rd and 15.
yeah.
Just keep the play in front of you. If they make the catch, oh, well, tackle them, and he gets a few yards. But, again, 4th and 9 now.
If you're Coach Stacy, you're down 35-0. You're deep in your territory. What are you going to do?
I like that pooch bunt. I mean, I wouldn't want to give him a quick score the way Massey's rolling.
Yeah.
So I might just flip the field if I can. This quarterback's getting a good leg, good bounce, and he's coming back regardless. He said, we're going to put a guy back here to see what they do.
Yeah, Brady Russell deep, maybe trying to receive a punt. We've seen a couple quick kicks so far.
Either
from
your
Waller.
safety or a receiver here. But he's made plays on both sides of the ball, so.
Looks like a potential offensive play coming in from the sideline. Roller goes to his wristband. They call a timeout. Back judge had not put his hand up just yet, but they do call a timeout towards Batavia. And as we're calling the timeout, we have an opportunity to go through some more sponsors. How about Destination Outlets? The 2nd annual World Pumpkin Pie Eating Championship is back at Destination Outlets. Will competitive eater Joey Chestnut take home the title again in 2022? Find out this Sunday, October 9th at noon on WZAALPFM.com. Campus Nation also wants to make sure that Team Campus Nation is there for you, and thanks you for tuning in. Stay tuned and up to date on all of your broadcasts, both upcoming and archived. Make sure to like the Campus Nation Facebook, follow us on Instagram, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. WZAA, come see us this week at the new WZAA 106.9 at Destination Outlet Studios, where our crew broadcasts talk shows, prepares music streams, creates commercials, and more. We look forward to seeing you at Destination Outlets.
Yeah. Get up there, take your wife to Bath and Body Works. Watch
Yes.
That's the only time in your life you'll eat. If you eat 2 or 3 slices of pumpkin pie, you'll feel like you're on a diet.
Yeah, because
Joey
you're the
Chestnut
world
just
champion.
ate like 15 pies, so
And
I just had a slice or
that
two.
those are 2-pound pies
2-pound
a piece.
pies, ladies and gentlemen.
Piece. Woo!
Yeah.
That's a lot. And here is the pooch kick. Brady Russell's back.
He's ready.
He receives it at the 49. He shakes and shimmies off the right-hand side.
Nice,
Brought down.
nice coverage
nice
there.
tackle
That's
by
by number 11. That's Evan Hamilton.
Well, now, see, that's just a cheap shot. I
Yep.
mean, that's all there is to it. Unfortunately, ladies and gentlemen, we just saw what I believe Coach Stacy will not be happy with. One of the Batavia players coming very late into the scene and knocking down Tristan Trampler. Just completely uncalled
And you
for.
don't want to lose your composure
Yeah.
this late in the game. I mean, 3:35 left in the third, and you got to keep your head in the game, guys. Got to stay under control here.
Great play by the defense or by the
coverage.
punt,
Evan
punt
Hamilton
coverage
there.
team. Yeah,
But you're going to tack on, 15 yards
Yes.
on that one?
absolutely.
And then you're going to give Clinton-Massie a very short field to work with here.
Very short field.
And
yeah.
motivation. You don't take it too kindly when somebody comes in and takes chips away at your player late.
Yeah, if they decide to pull off the gas, they may push back down on it just a little bit. It does look like their offensive line is all starters. The offensive backfield is all starters. So they're going to keep the starters in for another series.
Yeah.
Up 35-0 with 3:22 left. But because of the cold start, maybe and there's the counter play that I told you was coming at some point. So Gabe McDowell get you about 5 or 6 yards there on that first down run. So you saw the toss. Now the counter back against that toss is a successful first down run. In fact, they're going to give him first down yardage on first down.
They say, well, it's a running team. There's a lot of things going on with this running team. A lot of different plays you're looking at, counters. And so you, as a defense, got to be ready for any of that. I like that play.
This time, a wishbone backfield as the setup. Tight end is to the right. That's Brighton Rodman. Single receiver is to the left. The snap goes to Gavin Hunter. He's brought down behind the line of scrimmage. Just a very short gain of about a yard.
Yeah, nice play there. Nice tackle there by number 42, and that is Keith Bell. And he's
their leading tackler.
Yeah, made a nice tackle there.
So if you're Batavia and you're Keith Bell, the floor or the field general will say, what are you saying to your defensive teammates on the sideline down 35-0 and unfortunately unable to stop Clinton-Massie at any point they haven't punted yet.
I don't know what you say at 35. I really don't. Like, guys, just finished strong. Let's do the best we can do here.
Let's rally around this ball and try to keep him out of the end zone is what I'm thinking. They're saying the midline option.
He pulls it.
Yep.
He's had a great timing on that. It has got so much better through the year, through this season.
Yep.
And now Keegan's reading it like we think of Zantini and how well he ran it those last 2 years, as his junior and senior year. And Keegan, had to sit behind that. And now you see this, hey, I've got some game experience, and just immediately pulls it out and sees it. And he's been just having his day with that play.
Yeah, I saw him in the class the other day in PE class talking with Coach Graves, and I told him, he's really reading that option well. And like you said, he's kind of grown through the year so far. Calling his protection there up on the line of scrimmage is Keegan Lamb to make sure that the running backs know which way they're going.
Little movement
this time. I think. Well, no, actually, are they going to call that defensive encroachment? Yeah, so it's going to be offsides there. So the hard count gets them.
Now, the only advantage you talk about Coach Graves, and I think about basketball and some of these players that play both. This, if they don't go deep in the playoffs or don't get in there, this might be the first year the basketball coach says, "Hey, I get my whole team to start the season," because Clinton-Massie traditionally will make a playoff run, sometimes a deep playoff run,
or a state championship run as they did last year. Congrats to the class of 2021.
There you go.
Yeah, and there's a touchdown, another one by Gavin Hunter. That's his second of the night. So nice job. Clinton-Massie finishing that off with points, which is going to be 41-0, potentially 42-0 after this extra point attempt. Gavin Hunter having a great night on both sides of the ball.
He is, and he bounced that out and just had a nice hold and run through there. And now we're looking at a 42-point lead here with 47 seconds left in the third.
Gavin will take his side on the right-hand side, take his place on the right-hand side of this extra point attempt.
It's got to be tough, Batavia. You see one of your fellow players taking off the field on a stretcher, and you just – you're down 35. You give up that. It's just tough to get back in the game.
Yeah, unfortunately, it looked like Batavia had another example there of maybe letting their head get out of place there. One of the Batavia defensive players pulls down Owen Trick by his mask and puts him to the ground. And, unfortunately, we don't want to see any cheap shots. We don't want to see anything that's going to put somebody hurt or out for the next couple weeks. Again, we wouldn't want that if it was the other team or our team. Doesn't matter who it is. We want everybody to finish this game safely. We do, again, hope that young lady that was taken away in the ambulance is doing well, and we hope that it wasn't a cause by any of the players, but just unfortunately the game itself had caused it.
Yeah. Now if you're Batavia, you're trying to get your head in the game. You're trying to make something happen here.
So we'll see McPherson with a kick, tall driving kick, and that's going to go into the end zone. So for a touchback there, and he's been putting a few of those in the end zone over the last 3 or 4 weeks.
Yeah, he has. McGinnis is got a leg on him and been a great kicker for us, and it's nothing for him to put one in the end zone.
Let me tell you about a McGinnis story from just tonight. So Trevor McGinnis came to the alumni event. Trevor McGinnis told me, I'm standing there in front of the grill cooking hot dogs, and he said, I'm going to win the split the pot tonight. That's what he said. He said, I'm going to win the split the pot tonight.
Oh,
and
he knows those algorithms. Okay.
Well, no, I mean, he said I've been given the money by my parents. They say I'm the luckiest one in the family. I'm going to win the split the pot. He tells me this before the game, and I kind of jokingly said, oh, sure you are. Good luck to you. Would you not believe that I just went down at the break? He won the split the pot.
He won the split
He
the pot.
won the split the pot.
Wow.
That is unbelievable. I said, Trevor, did you actually win? He said, yeah, I did. And he had the money in his hand. I said, that is unbelievable. You talk about psychic.
Luck of the Irish.
I mean, that's crazy.
McGinnis.
Yeah.
Luck of the Irish. Yeah.
So as this fourth quarter starts 42-0, we're going to see Clinton-Massie's defense come onto the field as they are set to stop the attack of Batavia that starts at the 20-yard line.
Now, are we in a running clock now?
We are, yes.
Okay.
So, and we also know that Wilmington is up 27-12 on New
what about
Richmond.
that?
Yeah, I'll tell you, that'll be a
Bit of an
phenomenal
upset.
win if it's finished out by the Hurricane. Roller gets the ball quickly, the snap, and then the throw to Decker. It's above his head and unfortunately can't be brought down. So Decker's going to kind of go back to his quarterback and say, hey, bring that one down about 6 to 8 inches for me.
Yeah. Just kind of out of sorts here now. I'm just going to try to finish this game strong, and I got a feeling Massey's just going to – looks like some of their backups on defense.
Yeah, it looks like Massey has started to bring in a few
Bring
people
in some
there.
of them JV, get some experience here.
In the middle, it looks like we see Wade Collett and Xander Avery, I believe, 68 and 69, if we'll check that and make sure.
Uh-oh. Big 69 in there. Oh, he throws it away. That ain't grounding, is it? It might. Is that grounding?
Okay, so I want to make a correction. That's 62, not 68. So that's Marshall Hunter is in there. So I had Collett, but I do want to say just for a quick second, Wade Collett, what a nice young man. What a very nice young man. I've had a lot of interactions with him over the year. They're going to wave that flag off for intentional grounding, and honestly, why wouldn't you when it's 42-0 with 10 minutes left in the fourth quarter, whether it was close or not. So, but like I said, we have so many good kids here at Clinton-Massie. I'm sure Batavia would say the same thing about their good men over there on the other side, and ladies at Batavia High School. We certainly can say that about our Clinton-Massie young ladies and young men here at Clinton-Massie local schools across from kindergarten all the way through 12th grade. So we appreciate the families that support us. And we appreciate the staff that help create some of those nice young ladies and young men that will eventually go out and represent us in society. 2x2 is your set. They fake the run. The RPO, the throw is to – is that to Gibson or to Decker? That's to Decker. Yeah. So the first one over his head, that one hit him in the hands. Unfortunately, he can't bring that in, and they're going to reset on fourth down at the 20-yard line.
Fourth and long here. Matt, I got a question. I won't be here next week, and I just personal preference. Do you prefer in the fall pumpkin pie or pecan or pecan pie?
You know, I'm not a pie guy. I would actually turn both of them down and eat a stalk of broccoli.
Man, Health Nut here. I didn't know that.
And if anybody believes that, they don't know me at all.
Wow.
Yes, with a side of
So
asparagus.
you do not like either one of them, really?
I do not. I'm not
Okay.
a pie guy, so I can appreciate.
It's fall. I'm thinking
That's
about
right.
my
Absolutely.
wife
No,
and the pumpkin spice lattes and all these
Yes,
things.
yes, absolutely, absolutely. I love the fall season. I love the long sleeve T-shirt weather, but I'm not a big pie
Ooh,
guy.
nice
so.
play there. Number 10.
Miles Theege.
Theege, perfect timing to bat that play down. Massey's going to take over.
Yeah, and that was 4th down, and now you see a group of JV kids coming in, including this time Wade Collett is actually in the game, I believe. So we'll see a JV line, a JV team come in there. You've got Jack Elkins. You've got 17 in for the see, that is Mason Martini. Will be in a running back position as well, and so
Mason Martini.
we'll get. He's going to do a little shaking, a little stirring.
Yeah.
Hopefully, all the way to the end zone.
Why did you? That was in my brain.
I know.
You gotta take it,
I stole
man.
it. I stole it from you on that.
Give one to Mr. Baker on that one.
You get the rest of them. So,
Martini, it just ding, ding, ding.
Yep. So
That's okay.
As Clinton-Massie sets their JV line and running backs up, that's Jacob Sellers coming into the game, a junior. He'll also set number 32 into the game. That's Hunter Mons into the offensive backfield, into the wishbone. That's going to go with a nice run. Yeah, that was a nice run here.
These kids say, I want my shot, and they get their shot. Cooper Carmack.
Yeah, now Cooper Carmack's a kid that is one of those gritty, kind of hard runners. Maybe a little undersized at times, depending on the level of competition he's in, but he's going to give you everything he's got. He's one of those guys going to throw his body into the fray, no matter what it is, to try to get the win.
Yeah, and these kids getting a shot in here, and they want to make the most of it. They want to get a varsity touchdown. Oh, wow.
Was that Martini? Yeah, shaking. Looks like there's more laundry on the field. That's going to be holding against Clinton-Massie. So that's going to bring the ball. After a successful run by Martini, the holding call is going to put Clinton-Massie behind schedule here and move the down marker back just a little bit here as we get it set up for 2nd down.
Yeah, they're going to – looks like Martini there got a couple yards, and these kids want to get in the end zone, finish this game strong. But, as a coach, you're in a pickle because you're the head coach. You don't want to run the score up, but yet you don't want to tell your players to take anything off the gas and play half-heartedly either.
No, and luckily I had this opportunity many, many times in my coaching career where you're up by quite a bit. And honestly, just keep it inside the tackle box. As long as you're running inside the tackle box, keep doing what you do. Then the other coach can't be too mad. At some point, you got to stop them.
Yeah. I had that happen in a basketball game last year, and we were up by 30, and I didn't know what to tell my boys. And we put in the kids at, obviously at the end of the game, and it's a tough call. I had a parent that had an earful for me. We kind of pulled back the best we knew how, but it's kind of sometimes you put that other coach in a pickle trying to, pull back a little, but you want your players out there, even the JV guys, you want them to give 100%. You can't say, go give it 60%. That's how you get hurt.
Or tell them to run out of bounds when you have an open run towards the end zone. So
now, when you get under 2 minutes, you can kneel, or a minute. We understand the victory formation.
So a turnover goes to Batavia, or is forced by Batavia. The fumble's picked up by the Bulldogs, and the JV defense goes in, running onto the field as number 30. That's Carter Martin. Carter Martin into the game for the Clinton-Massie Falcons. Out of the game comes Nolan Phipps.
Yeah, these guys, even though there's some JV fellas on here, these youngsters want to hold that shutout. They don't want the upperclassmen saying, hey, guys, we gave you a shutout, And
you lost it for us. Brendan Musser also into the game. So the varsity offense is still on
and
the
they're
field
motivated.
for Batavia. They want to try to get that goose egg off the scoreboard there with 4:44 left in the 4th quarter.
So, Matt, I am, super excited about these last 2 games. I think the way Massey's playing, winning 3 of their last 4, and New Richmond and Wilmington over there in a tight one. It's going to be a good finish to this season. It's going to be a really good finish.
And it's all right in front of 27-13 is an updated score.
Wow.
Wilmington over New Richmond at this point. And it's all in the hands of Clinton-Massie. If they can win out, they'll go 5-5, and Drew Pastor has them predicted to be somewhere around that 11-9 range.
Now, so tell me what top ones get in.
Unfortunately, and I will share this just
it seems
briefly,
like to differ year
top
to year.
16.
Okay.
Top 16. I am not a fan of that. Now, in this case, it may have worked to our advantage depending on the rest of these last 2 games or so. But I actually went so far as to actually write the head of OHSAA. His name is Doug Oot. And the head of the football division of OHSAA, which is Bo Rugg, has been up there many, many years.
You said it's too many?
I feel like it's too many games. I mean,
I do too.
we're in high school sports.
Yeah.
Don't add games. We had to win 16.
And make it special.
We had 16 games last year as a state champion. And I just didn't agree with them adding another one when it clearly was.
And it was so lopsided a lot of times that first week.
And it was a money grab.
Yeah.
That's all it was. And I called them out on it, and I was very blunt and said, I know why you're doing this. They said, and they even didn't really deny it. They said that, because of the COVID years, they lost all that money, and they did need some extra income. But I just made
Let's say, hey, let's go back to what was it, 8 before?
Yeah.
So where did they respond?
They did. I will say this. I got a phone call and I got an email. So I got a phone call back from Doug Oot. I got an email back from Bo Rugg. And they were respectful of my information. But they didn't. They said this is the way we're going to go. I
From here on out?
Yeah, that there's no change planned in the near future because they saw the amount of cash that came in, and I don't believe I'm. Oh yeah,
he's stuck
almost off to the races goes the Batavia. Almost gets a first down, but it goes off to the side there, and we've got some more information on that thought from Rick.
We also picked up live Friday night football. It's not having to be delayed.
Yeah, so now, so there's some positive that. So we get live Friday night football where many times it used to be a tape delay. So, they did kind of give a little bit back to that. So we can appreciate the fact that they were working with some of these broadcasters, much like Campus Nation. So
Rick's all in. Rick, you're a fan?
Yeah, he's okay. He's okay with it.
We got a booth divided.
Well, I'm just thinking of the protection of the kids. So new into the game is a new quarterback for Batavia. That's number 14, and number 14 for them is Carson Harris. He's a freshman, a ninth grader listed at 5'9", 150. So they're trying to get him some reps here into a varsity-type game, although the JV defense is out there for Clinton-Massie. See a couple more shout-outs here. Let's see. Okay, we're trying to get a cheesy counter markup for you. How about this?
Okay.
When you're talking about martini, I like a little offensive lime with mine. With a little offensive line.
Now, full disclosure, I'm a church kid. I don't know anything about martinis.
Yeah, but
the only thing I know is like is it the James Bond movie?
Yeah, Shaken Not Stirred.
Okay,
right,
so
exactly,
I don't know much about that.
So just to answer a question that's come across our line, so if we win out, we will be in the playoffs. Again, listed somewhere between 11 and 9. It'll depend on the wins of the people that we've played against.
Carson.
Yeah, nice move, Carson Harris. And then it also depends on the wins of those above us.
Yeah, but we can't say it's an easy road. This is, we got New Richmond and Wilmington
Absolutely.
again is running the ball.
Yeah.
And so we've got a really fun finish. Is Wilmington at home in 2 weeks?
It is here at
Good.
home. Yeah,
okay.
And that's
we'll need that.
That's going to be an unreal crowd.
Yeah, it's going to be fun.
A crazy crowd.
It's going to be a good environment.
If they come in on a win streak as they have been these last few weeks, it's going to be a hyped-up crowd, that's for sure. Harris with a long pass.
Nice play there.
In and out of the hands of the receiver. Number
Christian
25.
Kidder. You got to be kidding me, Kidder. Nice play.
Nice play there. So
and that's going to line them up.
That's gonna bring an end to this game. Clinton-Massie with the victory. We appreciate all those that joined us. 42-0 is your final score. So appreciate Corey Price, our cameraman, EJ Lamb, as always, our color commentator, our wonderful producer, Rick Phillips. As you said, EJ, everything that you expect out of a Clinton-Massie team, it basically was, to perfection as far as being able to move the ball, doing whatever they wanted on offense. I don't believe there was a single punt all game for the Massie Falcons. A couple squib kicks or quick kicks by Batavia. But you saw Clinton-Massie run the ball as you'd expect to. And I did say this to Coach McSturley along the lines of what you said. So let's say they get in the playoffs at 11, maybe 9, whatever the case may be. Would you want to play us in the first round?
No, not the way we're playing. If again, we finish out and can get a couple wins, I mean, that means we've won 5 out of our last 6. And these guys this young team has matured, and they're ready to go. No, I thought about that because then you're playing, what, a 7 or 8?
Yeah.
And so, no, you want to I wouldn't want to play us.
Especially if you're a team that hasn't been in the playoffs. This is a new run for you. You're kind of in that top echelon of the points this particular year. You've had a good year. And then all of a sudden you're facing a team that has so much playoff
Defending
experience.
Defending
state champs. Most of these young guys either helped out in some way, shape, or form or were on that team in order to watch that team go all the way through the state championship. And I just don't know. I know as a former coach, if I had to take us on in the first round of the playoffs, doesn't matter if we're 4-6 or 5-5, a 5-5 Massie team who plays a Division II Harrison, who plays a Division III powerhouse in DeSales, plays a phenomenal this year.
Who
Bishop
beefed up their
Fenwick
schedule
team.
on purpose.
Absolutely. I mean, we're used to facing these strong teams, and when you get into the playoffs, sometimes you're playing competition that honestly would struggle against some of your out-of-league opponents there. So it'll be an interesting run if they can get into the playoffs. But as you said, you've got 2 tough games ahead of you. You've got New Richmond, which is down right now to Wilmington, and then you've got Wilmington here at home in the final game of the year. And going to New Richmond and playing at New Richmond is going to be tough.
Yeah, it is. But it's going to be a great end of season. Everybody's in it right now, and so that makes for a great end of season. So stay tuned.
Yes.
Stay tuned to Campus Nation for, the last at least 2 weeks of good football. You don't want to miss this.
Yeah, we do have the game live next week at New Richmond. We have it live the last week of the regular season here at home against Wilmington. And those of you that have the time, join us tomorrow at around 11:45. You'll hear my voice as well as Rick Phillips to see the Ohio State club football team versus the Wright State club football team. We had a great time last year. Rick and I called that game, had a lot of fun. Ohio State is dominating in the club football. In fact, they've won, I believe, 2 out of the last 3 national championships for club football, and it's a great league to watch, so we're excited to see what is going to be on the screen tomorrow. As always, EJ, thank you for joining us. We'll see you here in a couple weeks here at Clinton-Massie Local Schools and Clinton-Massie Stadium, Frank Ireland Field. Thank you for joining us this evening, and we'll see you just next week for those that join us